Frost is my name.
When I pull up on a hater, watch a hater fall back. I'm too good with these hands, watch a hater fall flat. If I die, all I know, I'm a motherfucking legend. It's so great for my city. I'm the realest one that's reppin'. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always reppin'. Oh my God, my whole life, my words been my greatest weapon. I know I been the coast's greatest blessing. Better recognize a king when he rapping with you. You hoes suck, it's like you always bring a vacuum with you. Solid like a mannequin, but you ain't plastic, is you? Cause if you got a bone to pick, I got a matching issue. Talking about me, then it gotta be lies. Cause I never get a tag or a chance to reply. If you don't got the courage to mention me, then you can fuck yourself with your phone until the battery dies. I mean, you mad at me, why? Cause I had to be fly. 2 albums in a year and I can't even try. Tried to fill my shoes, then you had to resize. I'm the king on the throne, bitch, is where I reside. When I pull up on a hater, watch a hater fall back. I'm too good with these hands, watch a hater fall flat. If I die, all I know, I'm a motherfucking legend. It's so great for my city. I'm the realest one that's reppin'. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always reppin'. Oh my God, my whole life, my words been my greatest weapon. I know I been the coast's greatest blessing.
Long haul, baby. Long haul, baby.
Hey, what's going on? This is Political Jargon with the Dargun number 2, Article 13 and 11 fucking passed. Are you kidding me? What's going on, Vash? Talk for a minute while I start dragging the people in here.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so currently one of the first things that I figured out was the Nazi Pugman, aka who was it? Count Dankula decided to pretty much just say everybody is completely fucked. Um, and I'm seeing a lot of comments on Reddit on how the Europe is pretty much fucked. But if I'm correct in Parliament, now we do have a couple of people from the UK, I think, and if I'm correct in Parliament, they would probably have to have a secondary vote. I'm not really sure, but to go ahead and introduce the panel, we got a fucking awesome dude, 40 ounce.
Hello.
And we also have a Tima the Hun.
Hello.
And we got a Demon of the Hoodie variety.
Hi, I'm an edgy 19-year-old faggot who uses a voice mod to scream at leftists. Hope you like my shit.
We got MC, obviously. Shalom. Shalom, MC.
Mick what, though? I didn't make it last stream. I had to make that joke this stream. Come on.
Damn it. Okay.
Well, no, we also got Sherardi here. Hello, Sherardi.
There are very few people who can actually pronounce my name correctly. Sharati.
Sherati.
Sharati.
Whatever, I'll
Charite.
call you what I want, woman. Go back to the stove. Anyway, we also got Voice of One. What's up, buddy?
Arse.
Voice of Juan.
Well, no, and actually, I want to start with Voice of One. Article 11 and 13 passed. You're still in the EU. How fucked are you guys?
Not even a little.
Haven't you guys been fucked? I mean, Mad Lib, if you're gonna go that logic, haven't they been fucked for years now? Haven't they been fucked since they gave up their guns, really?
Oh, so, you know, forever.
Don't start.
Since
Don't
forever.
start, Hoodie, because like you're one to talk. You're the one who has California.
Yeah, but I left that state, and I'm just gonna go to my same old retort that I always
Interesting, 'cause
use.
I can only
Which-
hear certain people speaking. I can hear Voice of One, I can hear Mad Dodge, but I can't hear Hoodie at all.
Huh.
I don't think I can hear
Anyway,
Well, they're coming through on here, though.
anyway, one. Which of us can legally possess an AR-15 within the next 72 hours? That's all I need to
You
say.
change that to who can get an AK-47 within 24 hours. And win.
I said legally.
Fuck your legal.
Okay, I agree. Fuck legality.
Alrighty. So what are we going to be talking about? What's the topic for today?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Article
garbage that the
13.
EU is fucking doing. That's the goddamn topic. I saw you made a video about it today, 40. I haven't gotten a chance to see it. I woke up and then immediately jumped into my Discord. But
I think
what angle were you going at it with?
It's more informational and to basically draw comparisons as to what these laws do generally, and how they're essentially going to fuck small businesses in the long run. The passing of the copyright directive, that is.
my man over here.
Okay, I got an article for us that I'm bringing up right now.
Before you start, can I just say I think it's hilarious that even a lot of authoritarian leftists are starting to see the EU as like Shondas for the Goyim, basically.
Pretty much.
I don't appreciate.
They're the authoritarian assholes that everybody points to when they say leftists are authoritarian assholes. So
Yeah. And
Well, no,
Medium, say,
okay,
what's
so
up?
Article 11, right? Voice of One. That's the one where they're making you pay for every single news link you use if you're a YouTuber or independent speaker of any kind. Really, I mean, it doesn't just stick to YouTube. It's about the whole fucking internet. Anytime you use a CNN fucking link, you have to pay them money. Is what they're trying
I didn't
to
know
say.
about that.
Yeah, that's Article 11. Article 13 is the censorship, the meme war article. 11
I thought that-
is about.
I thought
fake
11
news.
was. I thought 11 was Article 10. Wait a minute. I thought that was what was supposed to happen when you get rid of net neutrality.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know what the EU is fucking doing, but they're fucking up big time.
Maybe they're on a goodwill mission. Maybe they're like, okay, we're gonna fuck over our citizens in the most horrible way possible, in some hope that it will show the rest of the world you can't function like this as a society. Except they already tried that once in World War II and it didn't work. But hey, let's keep trying, right? What's another 10 million corpses?
No, hang on, Rudy. It's not that it didn't work. It's what they didn't do it right. Hashtag not.
They didn't do it right. I was gonna make a joke about a certain ethnic religion and one of the 3 states of matter, but I don't want to get Mad Lib pulled off of YouTube. So
Tell it to me and I'll tell it.
Yeah, the views expressed by the members of the panel are not necessarily the views of Mad Dodge Productions. Thank you very much.
But I have a Wikipedia link. I know, Wikipedia the show. We don't really want that, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up.
why didn't you
here.
just go to Infogalactic?
Well, why don't you just cut to the chase and go straight to InfoWars?
Here's an idea. How about you just, type in Article 11 and 13 European Union and it'll bring you up to the actual document. Just
Well,
saying.
the actual document, the long-winded title of it is Directive on Copyright in the Digital Single Market.
Plus, it's all in legalese, so it would probably bore our viewers to tears.
What viewers?
Wow, I
ones in the
was gonna
chat.
tweet this link out, but now I'm not going to.
But let's see here. It seems like it's a lot of let's see, link tax, all that good stuff. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and go into the other article. The EU has passed Article 13. Also, thank you, Wired Co. UK, and Gian Vol, some cunt's name I can't pronounce. Thank you for writing this article. The EU has passed Article 13, but Europe's meme war is far from over.
You cannot defeat the old
That
right.
motherfucking wall
Why?
got 10 feet higher. Sorry, Hoodie.
Because
I had to make that joke.
damn it, you kind of beat me too. I was gonna paraphrase that guy with like the alt-right cannot be beaten. Why? Because we have long since given up the concept of social exception.
Yeah.
You will lose, and you will make a fool out of yourself. I'm sorry, voice of one. I'm probably butchering your accent to shit. I can't do accents.
But one question though, if I'm correct, it got passed, but it's not being enforced currently. And with that, what do you think? Is there still some way that they can get it rejected again?
Well, the final vote isn't until next year, and that's when they'll vote to either scrap it completely or implement it fully. So we've got, I think it's 3 or 4 months anyway.
Well, the EU has a history of going, there was a point where we needed to stop, and we have clearly passed it. But let's keep going just to see what the fuck happens.
Yeah. The unfortunate part is that in terms of not referendum, sorry, the modifications that can be made to the bill, like amendments or something along those lines, those were all rejected at the hearing today. So they made motions to scrap it entirely. That was rejected. They even made motions to basically ease the burden on some of the private companies that are going to have to implement these filters, and that was rejected as well. So the bill basically, the copyright directive just says, yeah, you have to censor your stuff. We're not going to tell you how. We're not going to help you. But I mean, you have to do it or get fined.
Isn't that called a legal? Isn't that called a legal trap? That's all I wanted to say.
One thing I would like to add to that is if you watched Sorgon's stream earlier on, he was saying how all the fucking EU politicians stood up and gave a standing ovation to this being passed.
Oh.
So just put that in your head.
Is that how the internet dies, to glorious applause?
No,
I
that's
feel
how
like
in 4 months' time a certain building in Strasbourg is going to go boom.
I feel like that
Jargon
is
voice.
I feel like that's a softcore version of just like seeing the entire Soviet Union stand and just like stare at the crowd. Like, you guys are fucked and you know you're fucked, and that's why we're clapping.
Well, no, and like, I mean, seriously though, how can you have independent media, and YouTube type media, you know, because we have to look up stories. That's how we have to fucking do it. If we can't source our material, then we're full of shit. So they're trying to make us fake news, right?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, essentially I'm trying to find it. I think I'll have to bring my script up, but the way I put it is that basically all these upstart news agencies that you see that require sourcing from, like, the AP, for instance, even a lot of major organizations like CNN, MSNBC, they source their news from the AP, the Associated Press, because the Associated Press, they usually the ones that go out and send journalists places, and even CNN and MSNBC are going to have to start paying royalties to the dawn of media. So that it's going to be a burden on literally everyone.
But
But
wouldn't
without
that lead to
but-
free market? How much is a story worth?
Hey, we can't do that because in the free market, that's how monopolies form.
Well, that's true. That's why we traditionally did have some trust busters available when necessary, as people.
Oh shit! He thought I
no,
was serious.
no. I hear you. But no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What is it actually worth? And to be fair, there are exemptions for small and medium-sized entities. The question is, what is a small and medium-sized entity?
Well, yeah, but isn't the allure of fame kind of having the same effect? I mean, how many fucking times now has CNN on live TV fallen for the whole Sam Hyde is the shooter thing?
Yeah, but how many
Because
times
people
do
are
people on
so-
the internet do stupid shit to try to get famous?
Well, yeah, but it still happens.
Yeah, but the other folks are actually that seems to be their job, to try to get like a story and get folks to watch and be like, oh my god, it's like one of the dudes, he was just trying to say, oh, how are you feeling? It's like, lady's like, dude, I just lost everything in the hurricane. She's like, you're out here just like feeding on people, like making money and stuff, and like, I'm sorry, and like they're like, it was so awkward.
I wonder how long it's going to be before the press is getting such a negative image in America. I wonder how long it's going to be before they start showing up with like law enforcement to protect them.
Well, depending on the detail. I mean, when Anderson Cooper and some of those folks go overseas, they'd have security details and shit. Why? Because they're in a fucking war zone and stuff, and like that's like, we can't forget, like, this shit did happen. Yeah, folks bullshit. They say stupid things. They embellish stories. It's like, yeah, nobody's done that before. But here's the thing. Like, that was like when we had journalism. Like, it seemed like we had more respect for the press and stuff. Now, what do we see? It's like, no matter where you go, everyone's reporting what President Trump wrote on Twitter.
Yeah, but what about the free flow of information? Okay, you have these news outlets that are giving out fucking news stories, and everybody can read them. You can go to their website and read them for free. Why exactly do I have to pay to make a video about said fucking story?
Well, I mean, I was gonna go into that myself actually, because that's like, I think Big Brother has successfully turned us against the press, because what the fuck are the people gonna do if they don't like what you're doing, if they can't even have access to the knowledge of what you're doing? It's like, in a way, they're I think subconsciously in a lot of ways they're training us not to pay attention to the media.
Are we just disappearing information, or is this a tax on information?
They have to pay for it now, or royalties.
So it's a stamp tax or a data tax.
It means you're half right. It's a tax that's being brought in to enforce their control.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, they should have the folks vote a referendum to see if they want the tax.
No, that's not how it works, unfortunately.
Then the individual countries could sue them as an unconscionable contract. Dude, the amount.
But they can't. It's
wait, hold on, wait. Yeah, but you're talking about Silicon Valley. I'm gonna say that a lot of folks that are investing in Silicon Valley, I don't think they're gonna let their investments just get fucked by that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the average individual that lives in the
No,
EU.
dude, who's this on? Like Twitter, Facebook, dude, to have like super high data things and just having like, what is it, like $250,000 every violation? You have to take it down within 1 hour. 1 hour when fucking how many millions of hours of video are freaking uploaded to like YouTube, Twitter, or whatever it is these days. It's like, dude,
it's
that really
thousands of hours a day.
Oh, dude, I think that sounds unconscionable. Like, if it was like a week max, like 24 hours, like that's more reasonable. But, dude, that just seems unconscionable to me. And like, I think a judge could strike that down.
Probably should.
I'm looking at the chat, and MC says this is all to prevent dissent. I agree. I think that's what it is. They want to stem the free flow of information and the internet dissent that they're getting, because we're winning the goddamn war. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Gary Johnson. I know. Knock it off.
You're a principled libertarian. Let's not go down that road at this point.
But no. The thing is, they know they lost the war. Sorry about that, my son. But No, they know they lost the war when Donald Trump got fucking elected, and they don't want that to happen in Europe. And look at Angela Merkel; she is losing power right now in Germany. Far right-wing groups or political parties are taking power in the fucking whatever parliament. She is losing power. The EU knows it is crumbling, and this is its death throw. And I say we don't let them fucking do it. I say we fucking, I don't know.
Dude,
we gotta make sure they fail that death save.
Is this really going to be what ends up causing World War III over some fucking memes?
No, that has. I mean, this might sound stupid, but this situation, I could see this become like. The more the EU tries to fight it, the more I don't know what you would call it, maybe the insurrection, the stronger it's gonna get. So, like, wouldn't it be hilarious if in 200 years we all look back and they were like, think about that for a second. Pictures on the internet led to a nuke being dropped right in the middle of London.
Dude, this is why? Why has it come to this?
Because you need something to fight for, and this might sound stupid, but
to nuke London.
Yeah, I know that might be your stance, but as Mad Dodge has said, the views expressed here do not necessarily reflect upon Mad Dodge Productions.
Oh, don't be a fucking pussy.
Hey, we're covering our bases. Dude, if the EU, here's the thing, if one is going to look at challenging, and here's the thing, how do you defeat the actual vote on the directive? If enough folks think that it's going to be immediately challenging court and going through a long, lengthy battle, that probably won't reflect well on the people that voted it in. So if you already have the basis to strike it down, then all of a sudden a lot of folks will just be like, we're just going to vote against this and we'll make something better next time.
And that's not even to say, they just had a whole new freaking wrench thrown into the equation. 3D printed guns.
Yeah.
How far is that going to go soon?
No, hang on. Let's take that to the logical conclusion, Hoodie. 3D printed memes.
Well, no. I want to talk.
Boys, you're a genius.
Well, I mean, but
thing for a minute.
I just want to say one thing.
Austin Peterson gave out a 3D printer. It's called the Ghost Gunner, and he did it as a raffle when he was running for the Senate of Missouri. So it is going to go to that. That's what's going to happen.
I love how the gentleman that did it, his name is based off of both Stone Cold Steve Austin and Jordan Peterson.
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay, and real quick, Straight Sith Mail, I keep dragging you in here. Unmute and introduce yourself, buddy.
He might be having some mic issues, so.
How about you turn around and be a father to your kids so they stop screaming? I'm just kidding.
Actually, they're playing, you prick. This time you're not crying, so fuck off.
You've never heard children at play? They often make noise.
I'm a demon. That sound is my kryptonite, my man.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm a dragon. I like children.
You like to eat
Don't say
children.
that too loud, memes.
I wouldn't go around telling the police that you like children, but you know. Mic drop.
Okay,
we're all going to hell.
Okay, I think he's still dealing with issues, but we'll just keep dragging him in until he talks. Yeah. But
should let us know your story. Even if the mic breaks our ears with crackling, it's okay. That's the best.
It doesn't even matter if your story is incoherent. We'll let you speak.
As long as there's not Jews in it, in which case you got to go.
Oh no. We're okay with the Jews.
Am I live? Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you now.
The views of Vash the Token Dargun do not reflect the views of Hoodie Demon.
What's going on, SSM?
I'm sorry, guys. I was having fucking issues.
Hey, it sounds like Mad Dodge's little brother.
Hey, fuck you.
Well, that was a compliment, but fuck you too.
Oh, can you feel the love tonight?
Since it's cool, he could be my little brother. I think he's older than I am, though, but whatever.
He's your big little brother.
Yeah, but I'm not as tall, so yeah, fair enough.
How tall are you?
I am 5'4".
Didn't know that they stack shit
Holy
that high.
shit, you're a fucking midget.
If I stood
Not a midget.
with how skinny I am, if I stood next to him, it would probably look like Rocket and Groot.
MD's actually a pretty big dude.
No,
Oh, is he?
I'm a man. I'm a manlet. I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah. Someone in the chat just brought up something I think that's worth discussing. What's going to happen to people like Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie now?
Oh shit.
I know Voice of One probably has something snarky to say in response to that, but seriously, that's something they're going to have to come to terms with.
Yeah. Looks like
Hughes is a smart Swedish gentleman. I'm sure his banker has enough of investments he could retire. Will he retire? I don't think he's that type of guy. That also brings up the whole streaming industry. What about Twitch?
True.
Is it none?
Thank God people like Ralph and Tonkasaw don't live in the EU, because like how would they basically do internet radio shows. They probably would have some sort of internet enforcement agency breathing down their necks.
Well, no, they probably get hit for hate speech.
That's my question, though. You guys, real quick, because I'm going to lay my kids down for a nap, so we'll actually have a little bit of quiet on my end here. But before I go, this will affect people in the United States. I look at my analytics, and half of the people that watch me are from Europe. If I'm linking articles and I'm doing shit like that, that's going to affect me.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have the data, the metadata from the Twitter and Facebook analytics from what was it, the Sahara the revolution that happened like in Tunisia and stuff.
Are you talking about the Arab memes? Are you playing with your fucking vibrator again?
Maybe.
That's what we all hear in the background, and I live in a fucking chip bag.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily. I don't know necessarily how it's going to affect people based in the United States, because I mean, I think one of the amendments was that United States copyright law takes precedent over that of the EU copyright directive. So I don't believe it's going to be so volatile towards American users, but I mean, what happens if someone watching you clicks on that link that you have down in the description? I mean, it's, what happens to YouTube channels, for instance, that might be based in the EU. It's all up in the air. There's a lot of vagaries and, incoherencies.
If you want to track it, if you want to track it literally physically, I think MC could clarify a bit on this. But it would depend on, like, literally the server traffic, like which nodes it's hitting. Because if it's only hitting, like, all US-based traffic, then it's like, all right, it's like you're not actually going through things. However, when you're actually accessing different websites, where are they hosted? Where is it actually pinging from? A lot of the times, depending on the traffic, you might get rerouted a different way. Hey, when you're traveling at the speed of light, you can take the long way sometimes. But that's the thing. It brings up a number of interesting points. However, it also brings up that's how, like, a lot of some of the provisions of the Patriot Act, I believe, are engaged too, because, we'll monitor if it's foreign data. What's foreign data? Data that may leave the United States. Well, they can ping any which way, so if at some point you touch out of there, technically they have access. That's the way the law is written. It brings up
the U.S.
that,
even let it happen?
Well, that's the thing. It could be challenged. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
I was going to ask, how is this going to affect science? Because if you can't cite things without paying for it, what is this going to do to
You're
college?
destroying citation. That's the thing. We live in a world where we can actually hyperlink to things. Because, dude, all I know is learning like the MLA formatting and stuff like that. That stuff was a pain in the ass. You did it because that was what you needed to do to actually like make actual work. You're basing it off of established information. If we had the ability to easily do it now, all of a sudden we're taking away or we're adding a tax to that. It's like we're literally taxing information. And like, is that right?
I think that's actually against the law in America. I think you can't do it here.
Yeah, because after a while, you're splitting hairs, and it comes to the point where you're eventually taxing people for thinking.
I think the way we may see this play out is at some point the EU passes its thing. We end up doing some memes or whatever the hell it is, a video using content that they deem to be copyright. if all of a sudden they decide to strike a video down, what happens? Is it only going to be censored in the EU, or do you actually have to physically take it down? Because if the way it's written, some things need to be taken down very quickly. Then if your video gets taken down, technically that could be denying a large YouTuber income, like PewDiePie or something. So, I understand he's over in the UK, or what? He's probably back in the EU now. But you know what I'm saying? If it was somebody were to pursue it and you played it fully out, at that point you're talking about U.S. courts versus like the EU and whatever international courts that would play it out there. Which, I mean, it would be interesting, the arguments.
Yeah, there's in America, because of the way it works, like eventually, like, will the U.S. think about what they could do, because this whole thing could affect the entire U.S.'s economy with how much it relies on data transmission. So imagine what's going to happen if the U.S. pulls most, if not all, of its support from the EU. I mean, it'd be like Atlas just stepping out and not giving the world to anybody to hold. It just fucking plummets.
Oh, it's sanctioning.
Well, it's not only that, but look at the independent countries within the EU. They're going to end up leaving as well. They already are. Obviously, the UK. But you also have fucking Hungary, Poland. A lot of these countries are sick of their refugee program, for one. And for two, this fucking internet censorship is not going to help the EU at all.
Hey, Doc, is this not similar to the burning? Yes, thank you. To the burning of the Library of Alexandria.
Or book burnings in general.
You're stopping the scribes from copying the text.
Yeah, that's my point. This kind of seems like a burning of the books, only in a digital way.
Yeah, you are striking things down. So if you're striking down any type of content, if that's something you wrote, somebody doesn't like it, then yeah, that's burning it off of the internet.
And let's talk about it, what it really is. They're going to take down anybody who disagrees with their perfect worldview. That's what it is.
Which is 90% of the goddamn world on the internet, anyway.
No, but it's so dangerous, because here's the thing. If you're putting these directives in, it's like, okay, why are you doing this? Oh, we need to do it to stop these guys, these other people that we don't agree with. What happens when some of those other people you don't agree with actually take power, which we are starting to see in a number of countries? What happens when they start to use that? And that could lead to a very scary place at some point.
You know what a similar problem is in America right now? And I'm sure Mad Dodge will agree with this. When politicians started passing around the term assault weapons in reference to guns.
Agreed.
There's no such thing as fucking assault weapons, and
Thank you.
that thing as that old show South Park. I don't even know if it's still on anymore. Whatever. The point remains the same. Drugs are bad. Okay. It's now thought crimes bad. Okay.
It is. By the way, assault weapon doesn't have a definition, and assault rifle is a term created by the military to describe a fully automatic rifle.
They should just say machine gun.
My fist is a fucking assault weapon, for fuck's sake.
Well, but an SMG that's fully automatic is a machine gun, but it's not an assault rifle.
Yeah, but
it's called a machine gun because its inner workings are a machine rather than a mechanism, which is what a semi-auto is.
But you can also modify just about any semi-auto just by taking a couple of springs out.
I don't. I'm not saying it's hard to modify to fully automatic, but it's not that easy.
You can use your belt loop to act basically as a bump stock.
Yes, you can, or a stick in your front yard.
I know you guys just got sidetracked, and yes, I showed the belt loop. I showed the belt loop thing with the guns, but real quick, Zero Cool is what I always will call him. He says Article 13 is nothing more than an overextension of the EU and its SJW stance to control what it can't. It's censorship at its earliest. Fucking hell yeah, dude. That's exactly how I think.
In many ways, it could be compared. I mean, I really, really hate to be that guy. Oh, I love that book. what it could really be compared to, and again, I hate to be this guy, but I guess I'll just be that guy, is this not a digital version of Hitler's rise to power in Germany? Trying to overstep into the rest of the world. If we can't control it by territory, we'll control it by controlling information.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, the comparison's been made many times. You know, Merkel did what Hitler couldn't, you know, dominated Europe only through an economic and diplomatic means rather than, you know, militarily.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, I say that almost every red eye. Yeah, Germany won the Third World War without firing a goddamn shot.
Well,
which is hilarious because they're war machines.
Everything, well, Twitter's squashing anything that has Article 13 in it. It's getting buried.
Yeah.
They're suppressing it.
Are you serious? I haven't been on Twitter all day.
You should look. There's like you have to go search for Article 13 to find information on it. It's just being totally and completely shadow banned.
Yep.
Yeah, and
they don't want us.
Again, that
to
leads
realize.
Back to, who do you think is going to be able to implement and afford these algorithms? Who's going to be able? Who's going to be able to hire the manual reviewers? It's going to be Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. It's not going to be any small upstart company like Minds or Gab or anyone. Those guys are going to fall by the wayside.
But no. Here's the thing: they wrote it so broadly. Let's start a campaign to support it. Let's have the EU basically help contribute, because I remember a lot of them, they don't pay much more than like a 15% tax rate or minimal taxes for many of their staff and stuff like that.
Just a 15% tax rate off of your
hard. They're very. Oh, dude, it's good to be a member of the parliament. No, here's the thing. Let's just say, in order to help contribute during these trying times, they're going to help fund. No, they're going to help fund this out of their own paychecks. And let's pitch it like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, that probably doesn't sound very good to them, so it might be like Star Trek.
Zero Cool. Well, actually, first off, Awesomeness Primal, welcome. I haven't seen you before, but welcome to the show. Please like and subscribe. They say same with Google, I think, and then Zero Cool said it's Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Apple. They're all in on it. I agree. I think they are. I think they're trying to silence us. You know,
well,
here.
What are they going to do against stuff like DuckDuckGo and Opera, who are basically just giving a middle finger to that shit and not listening?
They're going to act like they don't exist, I guess.
I mean, that would backfire, because the more you try to suppress something, the more it's going to get forced into the public eye.
Yeah, and to some degree, I don't necessarily think it matters. As long as DuckDuckGo is hypothetically operating in the EU, then they are essentially a how do I put it? They are a congenial informational site. You know, they gather all the links, and so hypothetically, all those links that they categorize and monitor and show in search results, they'll be taxed for. Now, Google might be able to afford that, and they might just suck it up and say, okay, fine, we'll stay in the EU, but places like DuckDuckGo aren't. So they're going to fall out of existence.
Okay, well, this seems like it's an attack on American companies, and that should be something that we address at the UN tribunal courts, right? I mean, isn't that like we start taking things back at this point?
Well, yeah, but then you would have to put your faith in them that they're actually going to have our best interests at heart and not just talk about how can we fuck these people a little bit more.
Yeah, no, exactly. The UN is full of people that fucking hate America. They do. They all fucking hate America. They sit up every day and rail against us. And we fund the goddamn EU. We keep it running. How about we pull our money out and we fucking leave?
Well, yeah, it would be like I said. It would if we left the EU.
I meant UN.
UN.
I meant UN. I apologize.
Never mind that.
People sit there and they fucking bitch. And they complain and cry that America is the police of the world, but yet when we turn our backs, they want us to police the world. What the fuck? Over?
A leftist 101, my man. They're unpleasable fucks. You're talking to the people who would say it's racist whether or not you cast a black woman as the role of a black woman in a book-to-film adaptation.
No, that's not all those folks. That's a very encompassing thing, and yes, I need to play a little bit of shooting for the other guy a little bit. But well, here's the thing: it's you look at a lot of these different whatever group side, whatever quote unquote verbiage you want to use for it. It's like you see a lot of the same problems, and it may be different things, But you hear it's like, oh, I can't really stand it when folks do this. And it's like, all right, you change a couple of words, it's the same thing. What are the actual end goals? Well, I think most folks generally just want to have a decent life and be left alone.
Okay.
memes.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They get pissed when they place the role of a black woman as a black woman. If they try to place the role of a white woman as a black woman, they would get pissed. They would be irate, calling them fucking racist, blah blah blah, and say, "Oh, that role should have gone to a black woman."
Would it really be the thing, or would it be the people that were doing it?
Well, it depends. I mean, even if they're a very small fringe group, they're still the ones who are in power. I mean, did you know Anita Sarkeesian is like, I don't know if she is actually involved, but she has some pretty big goddamn influence over when it comes to the group of people that decide whose videos get ads and whose don't.
Yeah, because she testified at the UN about like bullying and people getting harassed and fucked around with on the internet.
Why does it matter about bullying? I call you a cunt. I called you a cunt. If you're gonna cry about it, that's your problem, not mine.
Well, what
as a guy who got, as a guy who got, you can probably tell, got beat up in high school several times, I can tell you bullying builds character like a motherfucker.
It does build things. It opens pathways, but in other ways, you're taking a different road in so many ways, and dude, it fucking sucks. But here's the thing, MD. Let me.
The internet. It's too large memes. I'm not gonna let you play the centrist on this one, brother.
Okay. Well, MD, let me ask you this: Is doxing?
Get off the fence.
Hey, is doxing bullying?
Yes.
Doxing is blackmail. Doxing is a felony. Especially when you send it to somebody and be like, "Hey, this is your address. You come to the table or I out you." But we're not talking about that drama today. And
so we don't
Scuba,
get.
But anyway.
So we don't get like shot down. Can we all just clarify what we're talking about when we mean doxing? Otherwise, we're gonna get everybody up in a tism storm.
That's
hey,
one of the reasons.
One person in my life. Sorry, memes. Go ahead, bro.
No, all I'm saying is, it's like, all right, a lot of time we're not necessarily clear on what constitutes doxing. So all I'm saying is, if doxing is bullying, like if you're threatening somebody with that or insinuating strongly or whatever it may be, like many folks, like that can fuck with people's lives and stuff like that. It's like you can like fuck around with people and stuff. You could hurt somebody if you're fucking bullying them. You fucking drop them on the head doing a pile driver and stuff, and that shit's happened.
Yeah, I have
bullying is not doxing, though. Bullying is just calling you a cunt on the internet.
Well, isn't doxing bullying somebody?
Well, bullying is an umbrella term. Bullying is an umbrella term too. So, and then again, so is doxing.
Well, what we're going after is the Article 13.
Well, that's what they're trying to police. That's why we went into this, because that's what they want to do, is create the internet as a safe fucking space. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, the internet's supposed to be the Wild West. I mean, not only that, if this is what's going to happen and this is what the future of the internet's going to become, all books of this story tell the same tale. The people who actually want to be free go underground and live their own version of society. So wouldn't everybody just flee to the deep web if this became popular and other countries caught on?
No, Hoodie. Here's the thing. They will not fly to the deeps. They will fly to the stars. They will go to Asgardia.
Yes.
No, shut up.
Asgardians.
No, there's more people already starting to use the deep web now.
As probably the only Nordic in the group, I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself. Continue.
Hey, in Asgardia, there is a shared wealth of information on the internet, free to everybody.
Yeah, and in hell there are.
Leave Asgardia the fuck out of every conversation.
You did, but I want to make my points to show that Asgardia, as far as information the internet goes, would be more free than the EU.
And in hell, I can assure you, pedophiles are being tortured down here, but I can also assure you it's not a very nice place to be.
Yeah,
I only visited hell once.
The kegs have holes in them, and the women don't. But no, look at the chat. Awesomest
It was very
Primal
hot.
said, I literally treated Trump. You know that's bad when I'm tweeting Trump. Yeah.
Wait, he dated Trump?
Seriously.
He
Oh,
tweeted.
I said tweeting.
Neither would surprise me.
Who has a thing for a Cheeto mummified in foreskin? Who'd get turned on by that?
Well, apparently enough folks could at least fake it.
How could he fake it, though?
Well, real quick, let's let Tema talk. We talk over. Go ahead, Tema.
Oh, no, I was just saying, we want to complain about how horrible Trump is. Well, he's got a hot ass wife, no need to bitch about his parents. Apparently his money makes up for whatever he doesn't have.
Yeah, I like this girl. She says what everyone's
I love
thinking.
Your brutality. You are
I see why you and Shirati get along.
As I.
Well, if everybody wants to bitch about, how shitty Nickelback is, well, you may think they're shitty, but let me see your 7 platinum albums.
Madlib, there was I don't remember what it was, but it was some sort of like skit I was watching on YouTube. And these people from the 90s, they were meant to embody like very cliche 90s shit. They got taken to 2016, or they got taken to 2018, and they were like, wait a minute, Trump is president? Who is the other choice, Satan? And the guy was like, yeah, sort of, long story.
Yep. Well, it was. We were asked to vote between a businessman that we didn't really know, that had no predictable actions, and a lifelong politician who has censored music, killed American soldiers, run guns, sold uranium to countries we don't agree with, and has pretended she's somehow a good woman in the middle of all this. Yes, we had Satan on one side and a retard on the other. I'll take the retard over Satan any day.
But you know what the best part about it is, Tema?
What?
The best part is, in 8 years, we're going to revisit this same shit, and people are going to fall for it hook, line, and sinker again. That's the most beautiful and the most saddening thing about it.
You really can't give her that much credit. She's nowhere near as bad as what they say Satan is.
I think it's... Oh, I'm not allowed to speak about Satan, but I have heard she's a woman. That's all I'm going to say.
No, that's Lilith. Get it right.
No, you get it right. Lilith was the first...
That's just us paying for our penance.
Lilith was the first natural-born demon who gave spawn to all the other demons. She was one of the fallen angels that fell in the rebellion.
Actually, she was the first bride of, if we're going to go with this, she was the first wife of Adam. And did not want to bow to Adam, so therefore Lucifer took her.
So she was the first feminist?
No, that's not what it was. No, she wanted to be on top, and Adam got pissed, which is weird.
Well, wait a minute. Since they fucking had kids together, how can you not call Adam and Eve Adam's first wife? That's all the constituted marriage back then.
No. Stop. Everybody stop. No, Lilith was the original wife of Adam.
Duh. That's what we just said.
So what you're saying is Daenerys Targaryen was Lilith in Game of Thrones?
Well, even still, I mean, that's a far cry from saying that Lilith is Satan.
Okay.
That's not what I said.
We went from Article 13 to Lilith and Satan.
Welcome to the Red Eye.
Let's keep
Let's enjoy yourself.
Wrong show.
The views of all expressed on this wholesomely reflect the views of Madodge Productions, just so the viewers know.
Yes, this is everything you hear expressed on here are... We represent him. We represent Mad. We are speaking for Mad right now.
Actually, it's in order to get on the stream, you have to undergo surgery to become a hive mind with the rest of these fucks.
Yep.
What?
Okay, I didn't know that.
You will lower your weapons and you will surrender.
Did you just go through the surgery? I thought you just went
through
assimilated.
The surgery.
Hey, I had a robot shoved into my belly button. That does not make me a hive mind with your crazy ass.
It does it does by Star Trek logic, so haha.
Did it tickle?
Don't believe it.
I didn't feel like goddamn thing. I was knocked the fuck out.
Let's ask, hey Madodge. Hey Madodge, does an abortion tickle?
Strong.
I know you've had several.
Wait, what? It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it does. You know, if you pee inside of her, the man gets pregnant. Everyone knows that. That's what public school taught me.
Well,
That's
I
right.
suggest
Bad.
you read some books or watch National Geographic or something. You'll figure it out.
I want someone to just let their child just watch National Geographic and then just come back a couple years later and be like, so what do you know about sex?
Wow.
Oh, National
No,
Geographic didn't get that
considering
far.
it-
But I learned like basically through the 5th grade from National Geographic and like just watching TV.
Okay, all right. So I think what Vash was trying to do is get this back to Article 13 and stuff. So internet censorship. People.
But this is so much more fun because we're not going to be able to say this for long because internet censorship.
God damn it.
Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck. Fuck, fuckaroo.
Gas the Jews.
Well, the company that initially held power over the .com, you know, the basically the internet that we use, is a company called ICANN. Now, Obama quietly
we had that.
handed it over via executive order, which he had no right to do. He handed the ICANN company and control of the ICANN company, a federally protected and contracted company. He handed control and ownership and everything else of it over to the UN, 4 years ago?
He
Quietly.
didn't do that. But wait, if it was an executive order, could President Trump write an executive order saying he nullifies that executive order?
I have no
Not
idea.
if it's gone to the point where it's in the UN's hands now, which tends to be what happens with
But
international
what if
law.
President Trump wrote a piece of paper?
Yeah, doesn't he have a cell phone and a pin? I'm just saying.
Right?
Pull out my AR-15. There's my fucking pencil, bitch.
No. But here's the thing: if the president writes an executive order, those are just words. Like he wrote the executive order saying there's a space force. You actually need to fund that and do other things to help actually establish a space force. But he put it on paper. If he puts it on paper, then the U.S. government is compelled to have ICANN.
I just want to say, I've talked about it a few times in private calls. I don't know if I ever mentioned it on stream. The cousin I live with, who's like really insanely into fucking conspiracy shit, and she's a hardcore Trump supporter. And I lost my shit when I first heard that because, you know, I pay taxes now. And I was like, honestly, what the fuck is a space force for? I don't think the Furons are going to be knocking on our door anytime soon. And her honest to God, not trolling response was, how do you know it? They already haven't. She was being dead serious. And I think I saw humanity's last glimmer of hope get stomped out in that moment.
Either that or she was in a very high-ranking intelligence committee.
Yeah, or she's a member of Asgardia. She knows that's what the Space Force is for, is to fight off Asgardia. I had to, Shorty. I had to.
I was gonna make an Invasion of the Body Snatchers joke, but thank you for ruining it, Madlib.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Rowdy Piper's still gonna come kick your ass, Odie. It's okay.
I'm just going to be posting memes on this.
Oh, you can
I
check
actually
mine
have an
anytime.
autograph of Rowdy Piper on my wall. So
Dude.
it's actually funny you made a Piper joke.
Dude, he's like the most badass wrestler ever, dude. I fucking love that guy, dude. So.
I got tickets one time and Rey Mysterio signed them.
Cool.
Or mine, at
no
least.
shit.
Oh, you're gonna be really pissed off then, Madlib. You know what I did with those? I got into it with my mom, who's a fucking druggy whore, so she had to save up for forever for those tickets. I lit the autographed ticket on fire in an act of rebellion.
Oh, that I would have been so fucking mad at you.
Was it worth it?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude, it was worth it. I still haven't heard screaming that loud. That's what she said.
I believe that's a true story.
Cool story, bro. Anyway,
My ears were ringing like I got hit with the flashbang afterwards.
I bet. Sorry, people. I gotta hop out. I have real life stuff I have to attend to, so I gotta go, guys. Thanks for having me on, though.
Thanks for coming, Tama.
Bye.
I see why her and Shirati get along.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, Cabbage Patch is in the chat. Cabby, you're an owner here in my Discord. You can just jump in the podcast room. That's
Yeah,
what
I made it. I made a joke about living in a chip bag earlier, and you weren't even here to hear it, you douche.
I have no idea what you guys have
listening.
done.
But Joshua in the chat says he was at WrestleMania 22 in Kansas City. Lucky fucking bastard. I got to see the WWE. I got to see the very last Ho Train that the Godfather did before he became fucking a douchebag. And that was in LA at the Staples Center. That was
like the Good Father.
That was like...
Yeah, he went to the censorship guy. He went to Hillary Clinton. Yeah, pretty.
Oh, he could make a reemergence.
That was like that whole back and forth you just had, Mad Lib. That was like, in high school. I own a copy of Adobe Photoshop. So do I. Legally. Well, I know people who do.
Dude, those were back in the good old days where it's like your buddy has a copy of MechWarrior 3. You're like, I want this game. You're like, you try to copy the CDs from the CDs. It doesn't work. You're like, wait a second. You show every file, including hidden files. You copy it all, you paste on your hard drive, and then you burn it. You're like,
now
I'm
it's
a hacker.
so much. Now it's even simpler. It's called a torrent.
Have you guys?
Isn't that like Game Genie? You're kind of cheating.
No. Game Genie is cheating at the game.
John Batista throwing fits because James Gunn won't do Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
He won't do it? Wait, what?
James Gunn got fired.
No, I know, but did they offer him his job back? And he said he wouldn't. Or he's just...
Yeah, they did offer his job back, and John Batista is throwing a child fit.
Wait. They offered him his job back?
Yeah.
And he turned it down?
Yeah. Well, he had to.
Oh, shit!
By the way, I didn't mean...
Oh, it's ugly, guys.
I didn't mean who cares about that
we
topic.
might have
Who cares about Guardians?
3?
Yeah, I'm saying we might not have a Guardians 3 because John Batista is throwing a giant baby fit.
Wait, hold on. Are we literally losing good movies because of fucking bullshit on the internet?
Yeah, because he had
Weren't we just talking about bullshit on the internet affecting the law?
Well,
fuck this! Fuck this! No, they're fucking up major movies. Okay, they fuck with Marvel now. Yeah, maybe they were fucking around the comic verse, whatever. But now it's like, you're taking away our movies. This ain't right.
Star Wars is fucking done. Motherfucking Marvel, the Marvel Universe is done. It's out the door. The SJWs have destroyed everything. Get woke, go broke.
Actually, there is some solace. There is some, a little bit.
What's that?
And that is the independent comics are currently rising into.
Very true.
Hold on. Wait a second. I have a proposal. Here's the thing. As far as I know, they actually had inklings of creating a Deadpool 3 because previous movies have been doing pretty well, but I guess was it Ryan Reynolds won't do it now because even in Deadpool 2, a lot of the stuff he wanted to do, they said no, you can't do that. So he feels like they're restricting the character now. So he's like, fuck that. What if we were to get a Kickstarter started to purchase the character of Deadpool?
I mean, how much money would that cost? 300 million memes?
No. Well, here's the thing: if they're not going to make a series of it, if they're not going to use it for cinematic, if they're not going to make it, if you got like $1 million, a couple million, $5 million to help fund the movie and sign Ryan Reynolds on, do you think you could make a movie to cover it?
The only way to respect Deadpool completely, though, is to not bring him to the cinematic universe, because, he's one of those heroes that's, especially good on comics, but, I mean, I thought the movies were pretty well made, but personally, I thought it was kind of an average superhero movie in terms of the Deadpool story. It's just the way it was made it funny.
Well, it was different just because he would break the fourth wall, and he would just call so much bullshit out.
I'm so tired of hearing about that. She-Hulk did it as a gimmick long before he did, and anyone who says otherwise can suck my ass.
Oh, plenty of other folks have done it. No, it's an active part of his character.
I did
yes,
not.
okay.
Might not be original, but hey, it
different
is what
side
it is.
note, on a completely
Neither is a
different
bag of
side
holding.
note, Dodge, has Wolfie gotten a hold of you since yesterday?
No, but she is active in Discord right now, so I think she's fine.
Oh.
She? Are we talking about Vash's Wolfie or Sir Wolfie?
We're talking
no, we're-
about Bear Dog.
Oh.
What's up with Wolfie?
There's so many Wolfies.
Hurricane is smacking into the East Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, she got out of Dodge, right?
Primal's also in that, so far it's
Just see Optimus and fucking Wolfie floating on that raft at the end of Castaway, just waving a white flag. Just the entire city's underwater.
Oh, she said that she was planning on shooting guns at it yesterday.
That's
Oh
not
shit,
going
guys!
to do anything.
Did you see that news thing that said that the cyclone had actually picked up fucking sharks?
Oh,
There were
that
small sharks dropped inland.
Wait, small
Oh man.
There were sharks that appeared inland.
Small sharks?
And
As
they're
in the size of a
assuming,
smart car?
well, like 4 or 5 feet, I think.
That's still scary, even out of water.
Still a big fish.
So Sharknado is an actual thing.
It's fucking
That's good.
Sharknado.
Sharknado is canon, officially. Get that trending. Hashtag Sharknado is canon.
Wait, is that the 6th rider of the apocalypse?
The 6th? Who's the 5th?
Dragons.
There.
You and your fucking dragons. Even Vash doesn't have that much of a dragon fetish. Get over yourself,
you're
memes.
outnumbered here. 1 demon. Okay, Shirati's a demon too, so 2 demons versus 2 dragons.
Who the fuck said I was a demon, you douche?
You did
going
with
by
your
her
personality.
It's female. It's female. Demon S. Jeez.
Oh,
I mean, I'm
wait,
fine.
are you
I don't.
Mystique? My
I don't really
apologies,
know
you're
how it. I don't really know how a dragon can kill something that's dead, even 2 of them. But feel free to try.
Well, if I'm correct in my lore on
White
dragons, the
lightning
only thing-
vaporizes a lot of stuff.
If I'm correct.
Well, no,
on-
Hammered God in the chat wants to know, did the sharks have laser beams? Because that would be terrifying.
Frickin'
No, they
lasers
didn't, but
on
they
their
did have
frickin' head.
frickin' laser beams.
I want to know, were they attacked by a lightsaber attached to an arm?
No, they should have been attacked by a bomb, because that's what that movie taught me. You can blow up wind.
Oh,
Oh
dude, in
my
1,000
goodness.
years, imagine when the AI is literally General Grievous.
Okay, I've actually explained mathematically the force that it would take for how many guns it would have
Bullshit,
to be.
you don't know math.
Yeah, Vash, you're a pretty smart guy.
You
don't
measure
know math.
all the pressure, you measure the energy, and you need to counteract it with equivalent energy to at least try to divert it.
Yeah, which we would need at least like 3,000 to 4,000 people with rifles all firing at the same time in order to do anything remotely.
What? You're not moving the hurricane with that, dude. You need like freaking megatons of fallout.
You do realize
Speaking of
the
which-
bullet's gonna go in there and come back at people, and someone's gonna die, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, just to get sorry to get off topic for a sec, but I was talking to my friend today because he turns 21 soon, and he's all excited that he can get his concealed carry permit now. This motherfucker told me that when he gets, because his only gun is a Glock 19, it was given to him by his dad when he turned 18 because it's supposed to be this big responsibility and maturity thing. He said when he gets his CCL, he's gonna carry it around loaded with armor penetration rounds. Like, are you fucking serious?
Go big or go home. I mean,
No,
if
no,
it's legal.
it's not about going. It is legal, but it's not about going big. Here's what's gonna happen if you shoot someone with an armor-piercing round. It's gonna go right through them, and if it's indoors, it's probably gonna go through the wall behind them, and then it's gonna snipe some poor bastard who was smoking weed on his couch watching anime. Hollow points, as dangerous as they are, were fucking designed for safety.
Well, they're designed for stopping power.
My first gun
Yeah,
was a
but still.
self-made Glock. And
My
yeah,
first
I
gun was
had-
a slingshot.
Well, Well,
Well,
okay,
yeah,
if
that
you
was
want to
my
go
first
like
gun
the
ever.
real first gun, then it was a goddamn Daisy BB gun that I had. But no, my first gun I went out and bought was a shotgun. Because I don't like a pussy ass fucking weapon that doesn't give you kick.
Well,
Then you
like
should
Joe
get a
Biden
buffalo
said,
rifle.
if you ever have any issues, you walk outside your front door, you cock that shotgun, you fire off 2 blasts, and you should be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, what's
And then
scarier than a
some
12
guy did
gauge
it and
in
he
your
got in
face?
trouble.
I'll tell you what's scarier than a 12 gauge: a belt-fed M60. Shot gauge or 12 gauge might blow a hole in something, but an M60 is going to turn it into pink mist.
Yeah, that requires more prep time too. So, I mean, you could have a
But
target.
it's worth it though for the badass factor.
Oh yeah, if you got a compound and stuff, I mean, it'd be a better defense. But for your average Joe, it's you have a 12 gauge.
That's why it's so good though. You don't need to aim; just point it in the general direction of the thing you want dead, and hold the trigger. There'll be nothing left.
Give
it about a
Hoodie,
minute.
do you play COD or Arc?
No. I hate COD, but I've seen gameplay of Ark, and it actually doesn't look that bad.
It was very fun. I lost like 3 months of my life. But...
I had to
I don't play
repair
a lot
my
of games anymore.
laptop
I'm
due
mostly
to it
D&D.
overheating due to Arc.
Oh, dude, the graphics are so you can put on variant, and they always up it to whatever they think the max settings are. And the initial alpha rollout 30 days later on the Mac was kind of choppy, but they brought it down, and it is a beautiful game. It's got dinosaurs. Right.
To double down on my whole edgelord persona, I decided to pick up and try Hatred just to see what it was like. It's actually not a bad game. It's difficult as fuck. What was that?
Oh, it's Batman.
Oh, it is Batman. Holy shit.
It's Batman.
No,
Shit,
the Batman. The
Yeah,
Batman.
I told him to get in here.
Yes.
Yeah, did you kill the goddamn Joker yet, dude? He caused 9/11. You need to handle it.
No, he didn't. That was Lex Luthor, and that's Superman's call. And he never kills anybody, and nobody complains about that. I'm getting triggered about this. Why don't you kill your villains?
So
it's
Batman.
Because Superman. No. I want to explain this. It's because Superman is not a hero to be a hero. Not his personality, but what do you call it? His creation. He was created to be the humanoid personification of the concept of hope. I mean, the first ever comic he was in, he was beating the. Yes, he was. The first comic he was ever created, he was beating the shit out of the Third Reich.
I thought he represented truth, justice, and the American
Actually,
way.
the first comic he was in came out in 1938, and he wasn't beating the shit out of the Third Reich. He was beating the shit out of fucking criminals.
All
He
right,
was just
hang
as
on.
bad as
I'm gonna
Robin Batman.
interrupt for a second. I just a tweet just flashed across my screen from Count Dankula. It says, Americans, print out a copy of your Constitution, put it in a really nice frame, and kiss it before you go to bed at night. You have no idea how lucky you are.
He's right.
No,
no, actually,
does he mean
that
like
doesn't
normally?
No, thank you, Sharardi. That gets us right back to Article 13. Batman, what the fuck
God
are
damn
you
it,
guys
Sharardi.
doing in Europe, dude?
We're not doing it. The EU are doing it, which is another good reason why we should leave the EU.
Aren't you guys part of the EU?
Stop letting them rape you guys. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons behind Brexit, I think, because the EU is basically stripping its member states of their sovereign powers. And this Article 13 is just another part of that. Yeah, I'm absolutely there, but
They're literally setting up digital tolls. Like, isn't that...
Yeah.
But Batman, in comic number 3631, how do you save the internet?
it involves a nuke and it involves Brussels.
But guys, I think we all know who did 9/11, and I'm going to post this meme, and it will reveal everything.
Yeah, I know who did 9/11. It was the means of destruction.
What?
Yeah, your centrism just fucked you over, memes. Now what are you gonna argue? You actually gonna take a side on this one?
I kind of want to make an addendum. Hoodie Demon / Madlib addendum to Count Dankula's tweet.
It was George Bush getting the Infinity Gauntlet.
You know what he would? You know what George W. Bush would actually do with the Infinity Gauntlet, don't you? He would just.
He would make.
That's all he would do. He would
fucking
prank people.
destroy the world.
I agree with Daniel Tosh. This is the reason why you don't tell a retard that he can be whatever he wants.
How do you ever agree with that fucking douchebag of a comic, if you can even call him a comic? The only thing that's
He's an
really
asshole, but that's
comical is
true,
his
though.
shitty ass fucking stand up. Have you seen his stand up? It's
Yeah.
shit.
I've actually
George
seen
Bush?
it live.
Oh, I didn't know George Bush did stand up.
Well, when you watch The Daily Show, it often resembled stand-up.
I would like to. I was just gonna say, I think the whole if Article 13 should be anything, it should be a wake-up call to Americans. And taking what Count Dankula said, instead of kissing it good night before you go to bed, keep telling yourself that words put on paper will somehow stop the actions of politicians.
But you know what's funny though? I have a copy of the Constitution, Articles of Confederation, and Declaration of Independence all on my desk at all times, mainly to argue with MC about. But yeah.
Can I start calling you Emperor Washington?
Oh, I don't know who said it once, but I heard somebody say that the amendments to the Constitution are a tyrant's way of circumventing freedom.
What?
You know what?
There's a couple of amendments.
I could agree with that.
Women's suffrage, for one, Shardy. No kidding.
No. Hey, don't do that.
Dodge,
Pinoy
I'm gonna shoot
Metaphere.
you.
We should ditch it on paper because it's fucking ridiculous that freedom has to be legalized. But I mean, it's not really freedom.
It was codified.
Freedom.
See, the thing is, though, we had those freedoms before they were written down on paper. That's why they're called natural law.
Yeah. The American Constitution is basically English, culture enshrined in law.
No, it's English common law written down.
Yeah.
What used to be English culture.
Yeah, until like very,
used
very
to be. Yeah, that's a very good point. Used to be. You guys don't even follow it anymore at all. You censor each other. You can't carry a gun. Now you can't even have a goddamn potato peeler. I mean, seriously, what the fuck?
I want to know what the fuck hate speech is and when the hell it came about.
That's what
it doesn't have a definition, and that's the point of it.
Well, it has to be grossly offensive.
That's a very.
No, it doesn't have to be grossly offensive. You
Karate
say
while
one
I
wrong-
use Batman as a snowboard down the staircase.
What?
Huh?
You broke up on my end too.
I use Batman as a snowboard down the staircase.
What the hell does that mean?
Are you trying to get him killed? What the hell, man?
Batman has a snowboard. What? I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what he
How do you
said.
snowboard down the
Batman,
stairs?
avoid the ski slopes.
Avoid slopes in general. It sounds like if your only means of transportation is snowboard.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Yes, you bad. You very bad.
Wait, can't most of these things about people getting all pissed off just be solved with like a simple, kind of like when you start playing WoW, you can choose a PvE server or a PvP server. So basically it's like, I would like to see just avoid the nasty stuff or show me everything.
I disagree.
You know,
I don't
we
think
used to be able to walk away, but now everybody shouts rape instead.
No, it's just a standard internet filter. Like, if there's questionable stuff, just give folks the choice. So
Why do you need an internet filter? You already have it. You
to
can
avoid
mute
writing a
people on
freaking
Twitter.
law and
You can
legislating
ignore
it.
people's
You give
videos.
folks
You don't
choice.
have to fucking listen to
It's like
them.
sorting on Amazon. There's certain things you're like, well, I
Be
don't
an
want to see
adult.
everything.
Be a grown-up. Take some responsibility for yourself.
He doesn't have to be an adult. He just needs to stop playing centrist. That's just annoying.
No, I'm just saying it sounds like it would solve a lot of these problems and take away some of our reasons to complain.
Means
You're talking over me.
there already is an internet filter. Narrow your fucking search.
Can we let Batman speak?
I was trying to speak then. I didn't realize because it's a new headset that I was muted. I don't think we should walk away from the bad stuff because that's how the bad stuff gets strong. Yeah, let's face it. When I talk about the bad stuff, I'm on about the stuff that everybody on both sides of the fence would clearly identify as the bad stuff. Yeah,
bad stuff falls
it's
along a
from-
very broad spectrum too.
Well, it falls from that old.
Depending on who you
It
ask.
comes to that old saying. Yeah, evil prospers when good men do nothing.
It's true.
Yeah,
no,
but
absolutely.
instead of getting
holy
into a
shit,
fight,
Batman, I
like
was
a
just gonna
physical
say
fight,
that.
Well, no, and real quick though, memes. I'm not attacking you. I'm saying all these SJW snowflake little cunt ass safe space looking motherfuckers need to grow up. Like, be.
I've been
fucking
saying that for
grown-ups.
years.
Or at least grow a thicker skin, for fuck's sake. We're just playing around for the most part.
What?
And who did I echo off there?
Okay, I just want to say, all of us together and in the audience, we need to start a Kickstarter to raise the money to fly memes to my house so he can sit on my fence and I can blast him off of it with my paintball gun.
He's a fucking dragon. Let him fly himself.
Do you really want me to bust out the old A5? I could do that. I think it's still in the attic.
Beams has some paintball guns too.
Oh, you're gonna bust out the A5? Are you saying you're gonna RP with me, :3?
Oh, I suppose we could go down that route if you wanted.
Wait,
but,
wait a minute.
Okay, but that's for later. Off stream.
No, it's the A5 repeater. You didn't need the special hopper.
Real quick.
There's 5 in the chamber.
If you're on about paintball,
this is exactly how that Jake Paul boxing match started. Just saying.
Oh god, memes. I'm sorry. Let's kiss and make up before we become Scooby.
I haven't played paintball in a while. I've thought about it.
Right, memes. Like I just said, the Batwing has paintball ammo, so watch yourself.
Yeah, but you know, I'm also a demon, which means I'm ethereal in nature. So good luck.
Yeah,
that's just a lower percent chance.
Some of my paintball ammo was cooked up by Constantine. So
well, dragons are magical creatures, so you have plus to cut through that. So I think I'll be fine.
Well,
yeah, but I can warp the hell out of
Batman, in other words, you're saying. So Batman, in other words, you're pretty much like MC, and you're like, I'll just drone your ass. It's all good, done.
Yep.
I'm surprised MC wasn't an Obama supporter with how much he loves drone strikes.
You know, in all seriousness, I'm surprised.
Don't do that. You might summon him. I think those might be fighting words.
You know, it does.
Fuck it, throw all the gloves off right now. I can go for round 2.
It surprises me that in the real world, some sport billionaire's son hasn't come up with the idea of a daisy cutter, but a paintball version. You know what a daisy cutter is, right?
I've played Mercenaries too. Yes, I know what a daisy cutter is.
Yeah. Now imagine a paintball version of that.
It'd be like putting a paint can in the middle of your house and shooting it with a 44 Magnum.
Pretty much.
So here's what we should do, rather than the boxing matches, because people can actually get hurt in boxing. But we should just start doing group paintball. But rather than the old school paintball where you just get shot once and once it breaks on you, how about this? We actually have technology, stuff like that now. So why don't we just set up something like more like a Call of Duty or something? You have
I've got a better idea.
Stuff that you can keep track. Then your buzzer goes off after you get shot so many times.
I have a better idea for you.
Because I'm a pussy, and if I get shot in the ribcage with a paintball, I'm not going to be able to get back up for at least 10 minutes.
We're heavy clothes!
I have a better idea.
Yeah, but there's parts where there's holes in your armor.
You've seen those old time duels, right? Yeah, walk 10 paces, turn and fire.
Yeah.
Memes, you are probably
Paintball
double
version.
the size of Hoodie.
What was that?
I said a paintball version of that.
Oh yeah, Sharadi's actually seen what I look like. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
and I've seen what Memes looks like.
So
And Memes is
basically-
probably double the size of Hoodie.
So basically,
Yeah, it's gonna end up.
Hoodie has an easy
No,
target.
Yeah, not only that, but it's because he is so much bigger than me. It's gonna turn into one of those shit where he fires a paintball and I fire back live rounds.
Well, that's not fair.
Actually,
Life's not fair, as MC would say. It's the most overused word ever.
Oh, firearm is an equalizer.
Shot with a fucking 22.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would just wait till he runs out of ammo and then tries to come up to me, and then I would hit him with like one of those police tasers that shoots out and bites you.
That's not how it works.
You don't even need that.
That's not how it works.
You know what's really fucking.
I played
effective?
paintball
One of
twice in
those
my whole life.
automatic- one of those
Hey,
automatic.
I just said you
airsoft
do.
guns. Like my ex
No,
actually
those
fucking
stink.
sprayed me with that fucker and hit me in the same spot like for 30 seconds. That shit hurt. Yeah, that's all
What was it?
Hey, I just said.
What was it? Cornslinger was.
You have a specific duel. You both get one shot each. That's how it's done. The first one who hits the target wins. And if means
Okay, no, Aaron, he's cool, but he's in the chat trying to start a fight. USA wants a colony, always a colony. Go ahead.
right.
Daniel.
Wait a second. We've heard from many folks saying that they wish to join.
If we had one of those duels, what's to stop one of us from like injecting pepper spray into one of them, or just like we dodge the first shot and hold them at paintball gunpoint for an hour and a half?
But then you're broadcasting, you're cheating live on the internet. That's the thing.
That's why
it's
you have
the internet. There is no cheating.
Buddy, that's why you have seconds.
No, we have iPhones.
Didn't we come here to speak about Article 13 and 11?
Yep.
This is what it does to people. This is the state of mind you get devolved to. Wake up, America.
So this is
You
how
and
we've
I are
gotten
in the
here.
same state, dumbass.
So? I'm talking about this whole conversation with everybody in here. You live in a state. Congratulations. I'm sure we all do.
I like states.
I'm going to get
Well, no,
DM'd so hard after this.
Well, no, and Shorty has a point. We can get back to Article 11, 13. It's just they're so fucking destructive to the entire fucking internet.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, go ahead, Batman. What's your thoughts?
Wait, it's not just destructive to the internet, really. When you look at it, it's at least for Europe, it's a step towards removal of free speech in total. It's
Free thought, you mean?
Yeah, it's one of the paths to the road of totalitarianism, which is where the EU is heading anyway.
Or
Well, no,
actual
and-
thought
and
crime.
I know I hate to use this one, but I'm going to. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
But
no,
it's so
actually,
true,
the road to hell is paved with corpses.
Well, that tends to happen as well. But what is this thing that we're talking about right now? They're supposed to be providing an update to copyright law in the age of the internet. They're trying to do something. Many folks believe something that should be done.
Anything though, memes, dude, bro. I'm sorry I keep cutting you off, but god damn it, man. They shouldn't be doing anything. Stop passing new laws. Cut it out.
But what if it worked well?
It can't work well. We saw how well it worked when they tried to update the Second Amendment to include current technology, and half our fucking right was choked out.
Yeah, why do they need to
So you
update
believe that
copyright
the
laws?
disco should have nuclear
Why
weapons?
do they need to update copyright laws?
That's a go-to argument that fucking...
It is. That's true. That's why I did it.
Go-to. No, I'm saying it's a go-to centrist argument.
I know. I also didn't give an answer.
Neither did I.
Yeah,
okay, real quick.
From what I can see, they don't need to update copyright laws. Copyright laws work fine on the internet.
Well, no, and that was kind of my question is, with copyright laws and shit, why not go the way that colleges do? If you plagiarize somebody, then you're fucked. But you can use their work in part and fucking source them and
giving
give them
fair use.
credit.
Exactly. That's the thing. We're literally discouraging folks from citation, like Tama was saying earlier. It's just that doesn't seem like a good thing because, like, if you're trying to have information more organized and be able to verify, it's like you'd want proper citation. Like that's the whole point of Wikipedia. It's like you're at least citing. It's not necessarily always right, but then again, science, we always have new discoveries and stuff. All I'm saying is, like, at least from an early creator, like back in the day, when I would upload something, I would often get a content strike or a copyright strike because I would use copyrighted music. I would appeal it because it would fall under fair use, but you know what? That still ends up taking like a week or so. That's kind of a pain in the ass. Takes some of your mojo out. See, for me, if there's the ability, like if I'm going to use a Twisted Sister track, if I can pay them a small amount to help make a music video or whatever that I enjoy and use their rights, or even just give them the advertising revenue like ends up happening anyway, it's like, isn't that the goal is to get the creator of said content, basically have them get paid. If you're just taking it down and stifling it, like if they could get like a couple of cents or a couple of bucks off of something I do, and I can help promote myself as well. Like, isn't that more of like a symbiotic relationship? I'm not necessarily saying these are how these things would roll out, but something like that would be nice, and at least a more benevolent view of the EU, like something like that could be possible.
Well, yeah, but the issue comes when you're forced to do something like that, because then it's almost never a good thing.
Oh, folks don't like too many rules. It's just, folks don't like it when you take stuff away from them. I think that's what it kind of boils down to.
Well, well, no, and Jacob in the chat says, "What the fuck? Why didn't I get notified about this?" Probably because we're talking about Article 13. They're burying it on Twitter too. But no, the EU is gigantic. It covers how many countries exactly? Batman.
All of the
I mean,
Europe.
Like half the UN, pretty much. Then
not all, many.
Wait, let's say all the countries in Western Europe, I should say then.
This is a gigantic censorship.
A good few of the old
campaign,
Soviet
though,
Union.
right, Batman? I'm sorry to cut you off, Batman, but yeah, okay. Go ahead, sir, and I'll stop.
Don't worry, if you make a point, it's not cutting off, is it?
Didn't you yell at me for talking over you the first stream we were ever on together?
Yeah, but you were being an arse.
That was the point of that stream, was it not? It was Red Robot.
That's not the point of the Red Robot stream.
All right, fair enough. Continue.
Anyway, I don't know who laughed.
Why do you keep shushing Hoodie?
He's taking.
I'm not shushing.
When you take a draw from your vape, it's very loud.
Okay, I think Cynic in the chat is being a troll. Yeah. I really do. But they say I think Article 13 is a good thing. Defend your position.
I don't think that's Cynic. I don't think that's Cynic thinks.
I will defend Cynic's position. There are a lot of folks that basically a lot of their work is being overutilized in ways, and they're not being compensated for it. But here's the thing, dude. This cuts many ways. That also means if you're a member of the mainstream media or whatever you want to classify it as, if you want to use something from like a YouTube content creator, you would need to have their permission and pay them.
Yeah.
What would that do?
I mean, what's that say about the people with music?
We were talking about this before stream. It's like, Madeline, you were talking about, unlike a cop, if you shoot someone in self-defense and it turns out they didn't have a weapon, you're going to jail, whereas a cop can do it and probably get off. It's that same sort of deal. They're going to give themselves exceptions.
Well, the last cop that did that, apparently, she was going into her apartment, but it wasn't her apartment.
Well, we were just talking about it on stream, or before stream, that's why I brought it up.
Oh, yeah. No, I get you, man. I get you. Well, that's the way the law is written.
By the way, Memes, I just want you to know every time I rag on you for being a centrist, it's just friendly banter. I got nothing against you.
Yeah. He gets it from me all the time.
What?
I don't know if that's friendly banter, but yeah, I do.
For a second there, I thought...
Cynic, real quick, you guys, Cynic, I told him to defend his position, and he's here to do so. So let's let him talk for a minute.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I just got off work. I just got a chance to tune in. But I've been talking to other people about this today. But yeah, that's no troll.
I could use a warm-up for before MC.
Yeah, that... I'm thinking of more of logos, brand names, things like that. Things that are already copyrighted now, that say if you take McDonald's arches and put them on Nazi uniforms and post that around the internet and it goes viral, that hurts McDonald's brand. And right now, they don't have any way to fight against that.
I would have thought the actual normal copyright laws would have covered that.
So you're wanting...
Because you're using a copyrighted logo without permission.
So
and we're talking about this because it's dangerous. I mean, does that not lead down the... I mean, again, this would be an extreme, but does that not lead down the path to, like, sending a SWAT team to someone's house because they sketched the McDonald's logo in their notebook?
Well, now you're talking about shooting shoplifters.
Well, I mean, just not to shoot, but just in general.
The framework we're talking about is like publishing on the internet, putting something on the internet that will exist on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but it's a rabbit hole.
No, let Cynic explain his point.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Cynic.
Anything can go down a rabbit hole, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't have a law in place to begin with, So if a company goes out, pays somebody, whether it's an employee of theirs or a marketing company, to make an image and copyright that image, someone shouldn't just have free will to do whatever they want to with it and damage that brand with it. Now, not necessarily a competitor, that's where copyright laws, but just me, you, anybody else that wants to make a meme and make it go viral on the internet, there's not really any repercussions. I've never heard of anybody being arrested for copyright or even sued over copyright for memes.
But in
though
America,
that could be brand
isn't that
damage.
isn't that protected by the First Amendment?
John Doe says that's trademark infringement, not copyright. But also, the other thing that I'm wanting to say on this is like, so you're wanting the government to be back with the what you said with the McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm just using that as an example, but a company.
From what that is you're wanting the government to look after these larger companies.
Just because it's a larger company doesn't mean that they lose rights. Even if it's a small company, they should still be able to protect
as Mitt
their
Romney
brand
said,
and logo.
Companies are people, my friend.
Yeah, and especially because most of their shit is funded by taxpayer subsidies anyway. When you get to that level.
Okay,
Not
but
all.
no. Okay. This is where I'm.
I didn't mean all of it.
Real quick, this is where I'm going to jump in. The Pepe meme. Somebody took that and changed it, made it into something else, and it blew the fuck up. Is that a problem? Because the EU right now is saying that's a problem.
Well, here's the thing. Consider this. Matt Fury, who was the author of the original Pepe, what happens if this law was in effect and he was getting compensated every time somebody was posting a Pepe meme?
Is that wrong? He made it, right?
It depends. I mean, if they're being
should he be compensated for his intellectual property?
What if I write a book and I say the word Hobbit? Does that mean I need to pay J.R.R. Tolkien's fucking family?
Would you want your entire book that you wrote to be published like freely accessible without any form of compensation on the internet?
That's my point. Though.
If that was the case,
what about when Disney owned Happy Birthday back when they actually did own a Happy Birthday? What about every time
they
you
sold
sang
to
Happy Birthday
CBS
to your
and Disney owns many
Shut up
things.
a second, memes. Every time, say you do have a kid, I don't know whether or not you do, but if you did, every time you sang Happy Birthday to them, you got sued by Disney.
Okay, that's a perfect example of everything doesn't have to be a rabbit hole. Did anybody ever get sued for a happy birthday?
Yes,
but with government,
Actually, people did.
Yeah. And with government, we're saying it always becomes a rabbit hole because government is always growing for the sake of growth.
Yeah. And when you get a body like the EU, if a law can go down that rabbit hole, it will go down that rabbit hole. You haven't.
No. To be fair, we have to be fair. Certain laws have been lifted because as of December 9th, 2015, people can now sing "Happy Birthday" without being sued.
Yeah, but have you ever
That
lived in the
is
EU?
true.
You haven't seen some of the fucking ridiculous laws that they sometimes come up with.
I'll bring up actually a very good
Giving
one
them a law
for-
like this is just begging for trouble.
Well, I'll bring up a
It
very
took
good.
Warner Music paying $14 million to end like the copyright they bought and just like freeze it.
Okay, I'll give up a very. I'm going to bring up a very, very, very good piece of video game history here. Okay, did you know that the word edge was under copyright? Which is
From the
reason
Blade Edge
why
series, right?
Soul Edge-
From the wrestler?
Which is the reason why.
Yeah, it is, but only in specific context.
No. What was happening was this dick shoe was trying to copyright it for any game that had the word edge in it because it
Was
had
it Vince
edge.
McMahon?
No, but I can bring up the.
Because to be fair, after getting fucked over with the WWF by the World Wildlife Foundation.
No, this was okay. Do you guys
yeah.
know the game? All right.
Very sensitive
Hey,
to copyright.
guys. Do you guys know the game Soul Calibur?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Originally, it was named Soul Edge. Whenever this copyright was put into place. To which the person was like, you can't have that. Now I'm going to get a portion of all of the money that is sent. And that guy goes, all right, fuck off. We're going to say Soul Calibur. Now,
Wait,
You know what
I
they-
think when
you know what
initially
they
came out of
should have done?
GamePro, it was Soul Edge.
yeah, it was.
What they should have done is kept the title the same, but replaced the space with an extra L, so it would say Soul Ledge,
No,
and it would
what
just
it
look like
was-
Soul has two L's.
Sound dumb.
What it
Let
was.
Vash finish.
What it was a huge deal during that, and then they finally said, okay, you can't do that. Like, you can't just have a copyright on one word. And they, the guy eventually lost that deal, but during this time, which was PlayStation 2 or no PlayStation 1 era, back whenever Super Nintendo actually went down, and then they went over to PlayStation and all that good shit. But during this time, the person had a copyright on the word edge because of the game that he developed with the word edge. Now, with that, what the EU is trying to do is this bastard that had that can probably now continue to do that shit.
Not probably.
Definitely.
Well, yeah.
So, would you want somebody that can just go around?
No, especially not the EU.
Yeah, like in the EU.
Okay. Sorry for jumping on you there.
Would you want somebody to go around and go, oh, well, I copyrighted this word before anybody else did, so you have to pay me royalties because you're using this one word? For fuck's sake, Marvel doesn't even do that with the word superhero, and they have that copywritten.
No,
in every
DC has
form.
a copyright on superhero.
Yeah, because fuck Marvel.
Well, I mean, this conversation went into whether copyright is right or wrong, though, not whether this law is right or wrong. Copyright exists.
Wait, real quick. Cynic, you have a goddamn good point. But there's two laws that were passed, okay? There's the copyright
I know.
aspect, Article 13, and then there's Article 11, where now us even post a link to the website that we're getting our news from. Like, that makes us look like idiots.
Yeah.
You have to source your material. I'm in college right now. Like, you have to source everything.
Yeah. But what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
and
though,
this-
is if this person, like, let's say I get the copyright of the word cynic. It doesn't matter that that's your name right now, but I have the copyright over it.
Right. Then I can't use it, or I pay you.
And you see this as fair.
That's not the necessarily law that's passed, but that's the law. If you own the word, you own it.
I mean, I don't want to accuse you of anything, but it sounds to me like, at least on this particular topic, you're coming from the argument of the government said so, so that makes it right. Please correct me if I'm strawmanning you.
Well, no, it's to the point of that's the way things are, not whether it's right or wrong. I'm not putting a right or wrong or anything on this. But
The other thing is the sorry to jump in here, but the body that's voted this into law, Article 13, the EU is, it's not the European Parliament that voted in. It was decided before they even got the vote for it. The national governing body of the EU are not an elected body. It's not a democratic political entity.
Well, no, I'm Batman. I do have a question. Does every country within the EU have to ratify this to make it go through, like in the United States?
They're a monarchy, pretty much.
Well, it's more like a trade union.
It was. It's an entire political bloc now.
Well, at that point, it's like if you want to have a United States of Europe, just vote on it.
Well, all right. So this party, this parliament, has voted on it right now. Now, this is where I am. Admittedly, I'm not up to date on Euro politics. So the parliament voted on it right now. Can it be enforced by law enforcement right now?
Not right now because it hasn't gone on the books. But no, they didn't vote for it. Like I said, the governing body of the EU put it into law, and they're not democratically elected. The European Parliament is just there for show, really.
Well, they voted to see if they were going to have any changes to said
Well, no,
bill.
and it's pretty much Angela Merkel running the whole goddamn show,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And looking at the chat though, John Doe says not copyright trademark. Don't confuse them. And nations within the EU can reject it, but they could face sanctions.
Okay.
See, in the United States, even if Donald Trump right now went and made some deal with the UN, signed a treaty, the states have to ratify it. We get a say, us locally. It doesn't sound like the EU gets that say. It sounds like it's going to be a big chunk of the world where all you have is censorship.
Yeah, I believe you need Congress to ratify a treaty.
Some European countries, like the UK, could veto in within our borders. There are some countries in Europe that can't because of the deal they made when they entered the EU. Some countries in Europe have more in the EU have more power than others.
Batman, I'm gonna jump on you.
Oh yes, please.
Cynic, it sounds like what you're doing is coming in here going, this is okay because government.
Yeah, that's what I said.
There's not a matter of okay. These are the copyright laws, whether the parliament's an okay figure, whether copyright is an okay figure. These are things that exist. They might not be right, or whatever. You might disagree with them on every single level that they exist.
But do we not have an obligation to disobey unjust law and try to change it?
Viva la revolution.
And see, that's the whole different thing of, all right, I don't like it. We're rebelling against it. Fine. But right now, that's reality. The copyright and things were made to establish ownership of things. And this is saying, hey, I own them. Now, he used college for an example. You go out and get someone's article and you use it for information for your paper that you're doing in college. Well, I mean, they did the work. They went out and researched. You're doing your research, but you're also using theirs. That's their job. They get paid for that. That is a product that you're using.
Yeah, but no, my point was though, I have to cite the article, and I can't plagiarize the whole thing. Obviously, I can't plagiarize, but I have to cite the article and give them credit. And Article 11, out of these two, is telling me I can't cite the news sources I'm getting, or else I'm going to be banned from my European market. And believe me, a big portion of viewers are for fucking Europe.
And I just want to, I'm about to get off here because my phone's going to die, so I just want to jump in and say one thing. I mean, most of us seem to be in agreement earlier that the way the state grows and evolves, it will force itself down any rabbit hole as far as it can. And if something like this is allowed to continue, that opens up the doorway for something like an internet copyright police agency. And we see with YouTube in its current state how fair and well something like that works.
Yeah. The other thing is this Article 13 infringes on things like fair use and parody. Where
yeah, it does.
You can use copyright material if in fair use if you're using part of it in small chunks. You can use hold on. You can use copyrighted material if it's in parody form.
Well, maybe that's what they were going for.
Stop that.
Because you can tell with the way they.
You'll see it. That's not sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, you can see where they've, just by looking at how they've conducted things, how sick they are of people using parody as an excuse to hide.
You broke up there.
They're sick of using parody, or sick of having parody used against them.
Yep.
And it could go both ways of, hey, it's a parody, but here's the majority of their work. Here's the majority of their product.
Oh, okay. So Cynic, and once again, sorry, it seems like we're dog
actually
here.
Oh, it's fine, dude. This is I'm not bothered at all. I'm here to have a conversation.
Okay, well, no. Here's my point though. I made one of the videos on my channel is I took a Steve Shives and Stuffy video and I watched it in its entirety and I made fun of it the whole fucking time. I'd stop the video. I'd fucking make a joke. I fucking critiqued it. Are you saying that all those videos that, you know, the quote-unquote skeptic community has been doing lately should be illegal, because that's what the EU is saying right now.
Yeah. When it comes to the fair use and parody, I believe there is a limit to how much of original content you can use in one sitting.
Okay, if there's a limit,
There is.
That's fine, because I was going to compare it to, could you sit down and watch the whole Avengers movie and critique it?
Christ, no.
So
it's still products. I mean,
Yeah.
one has a little bit more production value than the other.
The way around that.
Hold on a second.
Show. You should see
Hold on a second. Let me answer Cynic with this one. The critique thing. You get you get a movie critic show on like regular television.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say back in the day when people actually used to watch TV. You show bits and clips of the film which he's reviewing, right? Obviously not show the entire film, like 5-minute clips.
Yeah, I don't even know if that much. But yeah, I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
They didn't pay for those clips. They didn't pay royalties for those clips. They just showed them, critique the film, move on to the next one.
But see, here's my thing on but if the goal is to compensate the owners of said intellectual property, if there are already tools that can say, if you have a song, if you're using part of a copyrighted work, it's like, if there really is a big argument, it's like, couldn't you just take part of whatever click data from advertising, like, and just split it? Like, rather than having it not even exist, like, and you have the original content creator earning something, it's like, why wouldn't you want to earn it and you take away much of this fight?
I thought that's what they were doing, is compensating the original workers for it.
And when it comes to the parody aspect, how much do you think Weird Al Yankovic has forked over in copyright claims?
I like Weird Al. He's amazing.
I'm not sure. I thought he just bought the rights to begin with. He paid him up front.
He's using parody. He's altered the song which he's parodying to such a degree it is no longer the original.
Okay, he did get his ass beat for making a parody of Gangster's Paradise. Also,
really? That surprises me.
Amish Paradise was an amazing song.
Yeah,
but I can.
This was, I will go ahead and read with the Edge. It was Tim Langdell, who was the CEO that was doing all these cases, and he was the CEO of Edge Games.
Oh, God.
He was putting on lawsuits with EA for having Mirror's Edge, was the final one that he went up against and lost. There was an App Store, Edgy. There was so many different things that he decided to file lawsuits against for it, and most of them would, because they didn't have the money to go up against them in the court, they would either pay Edge Games, or they would sit there and go, well, we'll switch the name, because no one could stand up to him. Now, whenever he went up to EA, I know EA's Satan, but whenever he went up to EA, he got his shit knocked into the dirt. But it's like, if this Article 13 is passed, then, who's to say that another fucking Tim Langdell doesn't come up and do that shit, except in the UK.
So you're concerned not necessarily that that's bad, it's the repercussions that could happen because of this.
No, this is bad, and it's because of the possible repercussions.
And I don't think it's just going to stay in the UK. It's going to span the whole of the world, because it's on the internet.
Yep.
They already do that, like you said, with music already. So all they have to do is implement it with pictures at that point and articles. We're already underneath the
stand because you put up a picture or linked something because you had to cite a source.
Well, we're taking it from our perspective of copyright, and you're gone. They're taking it from you just pay them. Yeah, but
we are literally reading this. We are not taking anything out of context.
No,
Well,
no, no. I mean,
we're
can't
also
you can't you pay them?
no, well, that's the thing. Nothing has actually been specified. It's very vague. To be fair, if one is going to take a skeptical perspective, one would have to assume perhaps what could happen under malevolence. I think what Cynic is saying is if you took a benevolent view, it could do a lot of positive things.
Yeah, because I definitely think businesses should be protected no matter what their size. It's still, whether it's a 2-man shop or a 500,000-man shop, that it's still property.
Okay,
I
but
mean,
okay, Cynic, I still haven't heard you answer my question on how can we cite sources if they're charging everybody for them? Because even in the academic world, you don't have to pay to use a source. You know what I mean?
You pay them. That was my answer to that. You went to their
Okay,
article that they spent time on
want to
and
talk
made.
about
Yeah,
businesses
but you're
being protected.
not actually showing their articles. You're not actually showing their newsreels if that's what you're using in your citations. You're just providing a link to them.
Well, you use some of their information. Otherwise, you wouldn't have
You
to
use
put
the
a citation.
information, but you put it in your own words. That information, especially if it's news information, they don't own it. Otherwise, yeah, the first people to put out the story would be able to sue every other news outlet that puts it out.
Okay, so you could go to the same source that they did.
Okay, you were saying something about protecting businesses there for a second. What if you went and stayed at a hotel, or you went to a really nice restaurant and you want to give an awesome review for this place on YouTube, and then you want to link to their website because everybody has a website nowadays? You get banned because you linked their website.
Well, we're assuming bans again.
Well,
right?
and also,
I mean,
if you have to
link
cite
it in
every
the chat
source-
so I can follow along with this.
Well, no, and if you look at like the Red Eye stream, we go from topic to topic, and we do it so much. I would have 15 links in there, and I would have to pay every single news source. They're not charging me to look at their article. They're not charging me to fucking read the article. They're just fucking charging me because I put their link and showed my work. That's bullshit, dude.
William Stenchev has complained that he can't see who's in the stream or who's talking.
Oh, that's because it's OBS.
It's a new format. We've only done this format twice now, but I am sorry, William.
It's what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, we will be adding to this. It's like I said, it's the second time, so like the chat needs to be more seen as it's rolling. I'm going to be trying to make it more into a rolling chat rather than just a it shows up and then it's gone. But here with us right now is Batman, Cynic, Sharati, and Memes, and Madlib, and myself.
Oh, John Doe, my Discord link is up in the general chat. You might have to scroll up a bit, or I could repost it if you would like. But yeah, you're welcome to join my Discord. Back to that, man. Like, and how much is each news company gonna charge? Because they're losing money hand over fist, dude. They're going out of business. That's what this is. It's a fucking save the mainstream news press because us people are outdoing them. We're getting more viewers. We're putting out better content, and people like it better. So now they want money.
So what you're saying is they're in desperate need of money.
Well, okay. If we didn't need them at all, if all the mainstream news just went away and we were stuck with vloggers and bloggers, then you could do that right now. You wouldn't need to link to their articles or use their sources. You would just do it on your own and not worry about it.
Well, at that point, just invest in the AP right now and they'll multi-billion dollars shortly.
Well, okay, this also affects people like Tim Pool, for instance. He is an independent journalist, but he is kind of a commentator like we are, and he links to articles, but he actually goes out and does his footwork too. This is going to hurt people like him as well, and it's going to make it so only the mainstream media can put out news. The hashtag fake news crowd, which is probably us, is going to be fucking destroyed, and you're going to have no alternative. You're going to only have the dribble coming from fucking CNN.
Well, I'm glad you brought that point up. Just like I said before, either depending more on the mainstream or people not linking to the articles, not using the mainstream and getting farther away from it and not dealing with all that shit. Because if you know that you're going to be charged for it, you're not going to link that. You're not going to expose their article. You're not going to get more people to watch them. You're just not going to deal with it.
Well, actually, no. So it brings up a good point. Like, if you want to cover an article, why don't you just view a couple articles on it, and you can write your own article?
Yeah, they had to write it somehow, somehow or another.
That's the thing. I'm like, I thought somebody was citing an article earlier. Maybe it was on another stream. Somebody was citing an article from somebody that was not necessarily the mainstream media. Because what's it involved? It's like, all right, if you want to define if something's happened, you go to reputable sources. The AP says it's happened. CNN says it's happened. Fox News says it's happened. Probably happened. You've got multiple sources there, and then you just write your own article.
Well, no, and William in the chat, the fucking troll that he is, says, Tim Pool's not like you. He makes money and shit. Yeah, go fuck yourself, William.
He makes far greater money.
Yeah, I do have a Patreon.
No, he makes much more. Get your English correct.
He still won't take off his hat though. So.
Oh, Hoodie Demon. His phone died. That's why I had to leave the actual chat. And Vash, will you drag John Doe up in here? He's in the waiting room. But he says, what about media blackouts? That's a good point, Cynic. I mean, you need an alternative media, and I think that's what they're fighting here.
We need that now. Like, let's do that now. This thing doesn't have any. That would actually be beneficial. That would give us another place to cite sources rather than mainstream that somebody's going to charge your ass off for, or even copyright. There's nothing to stop someone from starting up a news source and not copyrighting the material, not going into the database that they're going to use. I mean, I don't want to cite anybody in particular that's going to do that, but there are on the ground reporters that aren't mainstream people. We have them in my city that just go out and do Facebook posts and things like that. That there's a shooting, there's a robbery. He's there with his phone doing his recordings.
Even mainstream media will use clips from other mainstream media companies. They do it regularly.
No, and actually, looking at the chat, like Hoodie Demon, I wish his phone didn't die. I wish he was still up in here.
Yeah.
Because he brought up a very good point right after Cynic said something about the shooting. He said, remember the Las Vegas shooting? Oh, of course you fucking don't. Because the media blacked out on it. Like, that's the problem, man. Like, we can't give them the monopoly. We're just now taking back control of news and information, and we can't give it back. That's what they're fighting for.
What's stopping it? This is more of a reason not to use them. You won't be linking. Like you said, I have to link and I'll have to pay some damn company, God knows what, or I just get a strike because I put the link, whatever the case may be. There's consequences that I shared their articles and made more traffic to their website. I'm just not going to do that.
Okay, I think there's a lot of confusion going on. Because this law only applies to anything in the EU. All this is going to do is going to push any media, any ISPs, and basically servers outside of the EU. They're shooting themselves in the foot.
So do you think this is just going to backfire on them? And
absolutely.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Because all you need to do to bypass it is just not connect to a server in the EU. That's it. There's no other anything.
That that would require a major reworking. Current
Well, no.
traveling
Here's
across the globe.
here's another consequence. They're not going to be able to track shit. All it takes is for somebody to have a VPN that's connected over to the U.S. or some other non-EU state, and you're free in the clear. There's nothing.
As soon as you're bringing stuff back and it goes through certain EU nodes, if they had a,
you can't.
Well, there is technology.
Except it's not that easy.
Well, it's not that easy. It is more complicated, but if they are looking for something,
yeah, a lot of the complexity deals, has to do with how much money you have available to do this. That's another reason why stuff like this Article 13, and this, it's limiting things to the people who have the amount of money where they're not going to be affected by it.
Well, there's also the exception for smaller entities.
Well, I was going to say, Article 13 would basically shove all the alternate news media, which is a load of small time operations, out of the picture because they couldn't afford to keep up.
Right, but all they have to have is their servers outside the EU. That's it.
But they couldn't. Yeah, but they couldn't. Put their stuff in the EU.
Well, no, I have another point though. But this is just the beginning of the slippery slope. Yeah, I'm going there. Look at fucking China. Look at the server blocks. Look how they have a separate internet pretty fucking much. And look at YouTubers in general and their analytics, and a lot of them are fucking, from Europe. Yeah. I mean, mine are.
Okay.
That's on
so
a different
this
level.
is gonna mess up everybody, is what I'm trying to say.
It sounds like it's gonna piss off a lot of folks.
Again, all there has to do is have a server that you stream to outside of the EU, and we're talking about a space that's not. We're not talking about like the space of the United States. We're talking about a space that is a maximum of 2 hours away. So the lag problem is not going to be a big deal.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, I mean, like,
okay,
China.
This is too funny. This is too funny to pass up. Batman. William says, cool. Only because you shared hemorrhoid stories. What the fuck?
I'm not saying we've got a lot of them, but we have piles of them.
And they're swelling in size.
Yep.
God damn.
It's an old guy thing.
So
that's why you haven't caught the Joker yet. It all fucking makes sense now. And I'll stop diverting everything. We can go back to our argument here.
John Doe made a good point of moving the servers, but at the same time, I don't think like CNN or Fox, if they have servers there, they're going to keep them. They're going to sign up for it.
There's no reason to, because those guys, all those servers are, they're just location servers. They're all they are is just a bunch. They can move them anywhere, and they move them all the time.
But I don't think they would. I think they would purposely put it in there. The big guys, they want that. They think this is a good thing.
It costs them money.
Yeah.
It costs who money?
It costs CNN money.
CNN can afford it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but there's another problem.
Their viewership's going down a bit.
Right, but there's another problem.
No, but CNN can still afford it, but I can't.
But it doesn't matter. The
IS afford it. Can you?
No, MMT.
The thing is, stuff like this, it would get rid of the like I said, it would get rid, or at least make things incredibly difficult for the alternate news media sources, which would pretty much force people back into the clutches of people like news sources like CNN. So it's going to do them a hell of a lot of favors.
All it's going to do is push hosts outside the EU. There's no reason to run server farms there.
Slope, and they ban VPNs, and they make it so they
you can't ban a VPN.
Yes,
you
can.
No, you cannot. It
How
doesn't
can
work
you not?
like that.
Yeah,
if you have control over the law, if you're the one writing the laws, you can ban whatever the fuck you want.
You can't. That's why it doesn't work in China.
Can.
They ban it in China and it doesn't work because they still have VPNs.
Yeah, they do. And if they get caught, they go to fucking prison. That's my
Is
point,
privacy a
dude.
right on the internet?
And most people don't want to go to prison.
But here's the thing.
Most people will not risk it.
I'm not familiar with this part of it, but okay, let's say a news website just starts up. They are hosted in the EU. They post articles online. They post pictures online.
Right.
They don't have to sign up and copyright these things, correct?
If they're doing it in the EU and it's Article 30, yes, they do.
Well,
if it's their own work, they have to copyright it.
If it's their own work, I think they'll probably copyright it anyway.
Insubordinate.
By default, copyright is enabled the moment you create something.
Atema also can't join right now. She's probably dealing with kids. But she
Oh.
just wrote me in Discord and she said the servers are already mostly in Southeast Asia. This is sort of a moot point, isn't it? I don't think so, because I think a large government like the EU who wants to create a fucking army, which that was never part of the plan when they were fucking created. It was a trade union like NAFTA, and now suddenly they're the fucking United States on steroids. And
Wait a second. So who's Count Dooku?
Don't know. What?
No, this is how the Republic dies. And thunderous applause.
No way, because in the Senate they voted to create the Galactic Empire or something.
No, whatever. Fuck Star Wars. Han Solo is a fucking douchebag, and everybody knows it.
When Lando Calrissian was gay.
Yeah, fucking hell. But no, I
He
just
was a robosexual.
You have a gigantic, overreaching government, which is the European Union. They think they are the United States, and they're not yet. But they're creating an army. They're creating draconian laws to ban free speech and freedom of fucking information. And it's bullshit, man.
No one disagrees with you.
Well, yeah, now they're pissing a lot of folks off, and the pendulum is swinging in a lot of other countries.
Yeah.
Could not.
Actually, it's not.
Could go very poorly.
I don't think they're trying to be the United States. It's more like they're trying to be the USSR.
So what happens if all of a sudden, like, NATO disappears?
That would be a bad thing.
Which it will in 2020. Vote Mad Dodge 2020. I'm pulling out all that shit. The UN.
No, I'm not voting for you. You want to be Hitler.
Whoa! Echo.
God damn it. Step into the oven. Anyway.
We're all going to hell.
Too late.
Yes.
Already there.
But no, Cynic, go ahead and respawn. I'm sorry, like I feel like we're kind of dogpiling you, man. This is the first time I've ever.
Don't worry about that at all. I am good, man. I didn't know if there was anybody here for it.
No, because here's like
Cynic, can I say something?
You're exempt. The red eye is exempt, and technically, since you're actively using the red eye, you would have the current copyright to it.
Cynic, can I say something personal?
Yes.
I may disagree with your point on this, but I've got to say, from the way you've conducted yourself in here, and not just what you say, but the words you use, you've got my respect. He's obviously quite an intelligent bloke.
Well, thank you very much.
You got the balls to stand up for yourself, so you got my, well, I wouldn't say respect because I haven't known you long enough, but you got talent and you got.
All right, well, enough with the
enough
with the compliments. I am a troll and a fucking meme for a living, so yeah.
Cynic,
all of that stuff is bullshit.
See, now I'm sure. Now I'm sure, Cynic, you are a pretty good wizard. That's
Thank
the same
you.
compliment.
Yeah, this is a bunch of bullshit, but nobody is speaking up for it. I mean, I see the aspects of it. Corporations.
Bullshit! Have you listened to memes at all? He's been speaking up this entire time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why we give memes so much shit. And holy fuck, you did pique my interest.
Hey, you've got to.
You've done it even better now.
Entertain an idea.
You cannot in that respect.
You got talent, boy.
Man, you should have called me out on the carpet a long time ago. It's me and him have spent like the past 3 nights just bullshitting and
MD,
memeing
MD,
The thing is,
here's
though-
the thing. As MD would say, you're hired.
The thing is, in the
Dude,
world,
Cynic, you gave me a
online.
fucking headache because you came in and you're like, this is good because government, and my head started throbbing.
Yes, yes,
I'm like,
I
you
have
are an
help.
ignorant fucker.
The worst thing is, there are people out there who are just like that.
Real
They
quick,
would actually
to get back on.
Fix your
topic,
fucking mic, Jesus Christ.
My mic is messed up.
No, somebody's mic is echoing like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Not it.
Okay, if that
All
was-
right, hold on. Hoodie says, thought
that's what I was
crime
trying to
enforcement
say.
agency, and you've got mine as far as respect goes. And then he goes, and I stood up to MC for God's sake.
I think it's Memes who's echoing.
Oh, it wasn't me because I turned you guys way down. I can hardly hear you.
I thought it was
am
John
using
Doe. I was
speakers
muted
'cause
that
it's
time.
Discord.
Ah, right. But like I was saying, Cynic, one of the reasons why you got us so well is because there are actually idiots out there who would spout stuff like that. Yeah. The kind of people think, oh, the Nazis aren't that bad, you know.
Yeah.
Memes.
No, I'm definitely good to sharpen your blades with, in case you do get somebody that's serious about it, because I can look at it from either way. But...
No, here's the thing. You got to.
So
all
you
right.
are a
If
fucking
you have an
centrist.
idea, no. If there is an idea, well, here's the thing. If you want to load your quote unquote enemy, was it going back to OG Sun Tzu and stuff? It's like, well, you should actually probably know who you're doing combat against. Play out their ideas, fully play them out.
I
See
still
where
like
it goes.
William.
Sometimes
I
it's
still
scary.
Like that. Memes, I still like that phrase. I can't remember who said it, but it's similar to something Sun Tzu said. But it's the enemy of my enemy is the last person I will betray.
Well,
But that's not
a fair
necessarily
point.
true. The enemy of my enemy is my friend is a horrible phrase
That's
because
not what
look
he
at
said.
Afghanistan.
Yeah, I can hate 2 people at once. I can manage that.
So that's fair, and we're human beings. We have the ability to do that. But I prefer the words of Lord Gimli.
Come
All
on.
chance for success, certainty of death. I fucked that up. What are we waiting for?
Well, no,
William
this is
says,
kind of
MC
interesting.
Stoner
Yeah,
chicken
the chat.
minion hashtag ogres have layers.
Yeah,
true.
MC's getting hate and he's not even here.
Yes.
Poor
Actually, if we're going on about popular phrases, I've got a quote. The Wizard Rincewind: "Those who are about to die don't want to."
Usually true.
I know that name.
Here, you want another famous Chinese
Yes, well.
proverb?
Go on.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Fair enough.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like, all in all, it looks like the EU is trying to become a totalitarian state.
Yeah, it's
And
trying to become the
me as
Soviet
a
Union.
me as a libertarian, it pisses me the fuck off. Yeah, I don't live there. I'm in the United States, but I have a bunch of friends that live over there, and a bunch of viewers that do watch from over there, and it will affect me. It will. It will affect all of us.
Will it make things better for them?
Nope.
No.
No.
No, it won't make anything better for anybody, really.
What it will do, like a lot of policies that have been put in place, it will put a financial burden on anyone who's hosting any ISP or any web hosts that host the images or whatever. It puts a burden on a financial burden. They have to front the cost of content ID systems. They're by the EU standards. They have to front those costs, and they have to run them.
Well, yeah, but couldn't the member states challenge it in court? That's what I'm saying. Because that whole 1 hour window to take certain things down, it's like, that really seems perhaps unconscionable.
Right.
Or
We
at least
all
I think-
know how YouTube's content ID systems doesn't work. Now think of that on a mass scale.
Yeah, but YouTube's scale is challengeable, and what I'm saying is, if this creates enough of a fuss, I believe it would actually be challenged in courts.
Well, there's only one group of people that this benefits, and that's the government.
Absolutely, and that's
And-
my damn
and
problem. Like the
it-
mad libertarian is my goddamn handle. Like, yeah, No, no, fuck you, government. Go fuck yourselves.
I
And
know
the
we got
EU is
we
getting out
know
of goddamn
we
control.
know you hate the government. I got it.
No. But that's the big thing. Here's the thing.
We get it. You vape.
No, but if we're saying a bunch of folks of maybe a particular quote unquote side are doing this, what happens when their ideological opponents seize control and these laws are in place? What happens then?
Yeah,
This benefits the EU from taxation.
Is it? First I've heard of it.
That's how. Where do you think this magical money's going?
Yeah, it's going into the pockets of the people in charge
No,
of
it's
the.
Well,
not.
they fund education.
They collect on behalf of.
Yeah, no, and the more
that's-
money a news source actually fucking brings in, which is this right now they're dying. So
Hold
this
on,
would be
hold
a
on a
big
minute, hold on a
bump,
minute.
and then the government will tax them on their income, corporate taxes.
John Doe, this what you're on about. This will be why the poorer countries in Europe are going to the fucking wall. I mean, Greece is a financial nightmare now. Italy is not far behind, and the other smaller, poorer countries in Europe are all sliding down that slope. Yeah, Europe, the EU is a clusterfuck.
Yeah, it's because they try and do things on behalf of other people that they don't need to be involved in.
I want to know Vash's opinion. He hasn't spoke in a while.
Oh, I've been doing things in background. Sorry.
His wife.
Yeah, taking care of my sweetheart before she goes to work.
Well, that's great and all. I still want to know your opinion.
Well,
no, and real quick though, Vash, you have the floor in just a second. Miss Owley is in the chat. She says, "I live in Europe, yet my country ain't in the EU. Yet things like this might still affect it. It will affect the whole world." And then let Vash talk.
I can look at Miss and go. It actually could benefit you because you're outside the EU.
Fuck up. It's Vash's turn to speak.
Okay, now, like I was saying before about the Edge games, and I keep going back to that because it's a very, very good thing to say. And yes, I know it's trademark versus copyright, but what I'm saying is, well, we can look at logic. We can look at there are so many different channels, and the thing is what this is it's not going to end at just Article 13. And if you say that it will, then you're stupid, because what it is this is an agenda, and it's been an agenda that's being pushed. It's been a narrative that's being pushed this entire time. Just like the leader of Germany, I keep forgetting her name.
Angela Merkel.
Yeah, like I said, she has a long game that she's been doing, and the thing is so too do these laws that have been enacted and have been tried to be shoved through so many fucking times. But it's like trying to fit a car in a doghouse. So, they're really trying to push it through.
I think Angela Merkel misses the good old days when she was in the Stasi.
Oh shit! No, I have to bring this up. Miss Owley says she's from Norway. I just had a debate with Rat Resistance a week and a half or so ago, where we were arguing USA versus Norway. You might want to check that out, and then you'll probably hate me after.
Dude, it was sweet. Cabbage was an excellent referee. He was like the Mills Lane of professional internet.
That was a good debate. I still say USA fucking is better, but whatever. I just wanted to bring that up.
Oh, that was good content.
But like I was saying,
yeah, I'm sorry, Vash. I totally fucked you up. I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
Like I'm not meaning to say this is like a slippery slope deal, and I don't mean to go with that argument, but it seems like if we do have this pass, then like next year there's going to be I could could probably bet money on this. Next year is going to be another 2 articles that are going to go, forward into it. Now, the way that copyright should be, and the fair use policy, which, if I'm correct, does the UK go by fair use policy or no?
At the moment.
Okay. Well, the fair use policy and the whole thing about copyright and all of that, this is going to make it to where, like, the Teslas of the world are going to basically be knocked away by all the Edisons completely.
Yep.
So do you think that that's a good way to be? Like, do you think that's the people that only have money should be the ones that can do this?
Yeah, it's going to end up with, yes, you do have a voice, so long as you say what we want you to.
Exactly.
I know. I think actually in some ways it could help encourage certain entrepreneurs. Well, here's the thing: if you put something out there,
that's the only reason we let me talk.
no. Because here's the thing: if you actually put out some of your own content, if it happens to go viral, you would be the beneficiary of like monetary gains from that. As well, let's consider another alternative. Right now, what ends up happening, you would not necessarily be able to share an article on Twitter, on Facebook, or whatever platform it may be without paying that. Do you think this would have a strong decrease in the number of, at sometimes seemingly outrageous articles appearing as frequently on the internet? Because we all know, anytime someone sees an article and they get pissed off about it, they click on it, they wait for it to load, and they read the full article.
Well, I mean, I'm a video game streamer, so let's put it into this perspective then. According to Article 13, from what I understand, is if I make a video playing League of Legends like I do, even if it's my content and me making jokes and me doing the all of that. Well, League of Legends owns that video. Why? Because I'm using their game.
Do you think LOL will strike you down?
No, what I'm saying is Article 13, if you're using it inside of a business narrative, what I'm saying is a similar business narrative that you can compare it to would be, let's say that I am making content, I am playing League of Legends, and League of Legends, I decide to make a video while I'm playing League of Legends, and League of Legends decides to say, yeah, we have League of Legends and Riot Game copywritten. Now, I'm saying this because Riot Games is free-to-play, and this would not happen with League of Legends. But let's say World of Warcraft, or name any MMO.
No.
Bash. Hang on, Bash. Nintendo already does that.
Oh, I know.
No. Nintendo does, but here's the thing: I would end up being a for the company, because even Philly D is like, I'm not going to show anything Nintendo, because they are very fierce and rabid about that. Maybe that's something to say about Japan culture. I mean, I don't know. But here's the thing. If you actually look at that, and like Dash said, with League of Legends, as far as I know, I mean, they're big into like the esports, which is actually coming to the Olympics at some point in the near future.
What? Sorry.
Yes. They're drawing 1,000 years or so for esports. But I digress. If you look at it, you could actually get credit for stuff like that. And League, what are they doing? They help their game via actively promoting folks to compete and share their content, because your player base is actually helping to fuel the franchise. This is the same with like Fortnite. Do you think Fortnite would be so big if you didn't have like all like these streamers and stuff turning into like a culture and stuff like that?
It became a culture in our very eyes.
Yeah, this is the power of the internet. It can do great things for whatever ends.
Yeah, and I honestly think that across the world, governments are afraid of the internet because it is potentially the single greatest tool for democratic process that we have ever had in our hands.
Yep.
Oh, it's a massive tool of chaos, dude. It's just you
That too.
can't control it, man. It's like how do you? It's
They're
not like
trying
freaking
to
Sonic or.
control something that will never be able to be controlled. The internet will never, ever be controlled, and the moment that you try and control it is the moment that you lose all control over it.
Nature always finds a way.
Well, Vash talked about the slippery slope and stuff like that. Forget that. It's very blatantly clear that the EU wants more power over everything.
Yeah.
Just it might not be the articles related to anything internet worthy. It might be something completely different, but they will pass stuff to get more power and more control over things if they can.
Yeah.
Well, that inherently is my issue with the whole thing. I am going with the slippery slope argument. I have been the whole time because it is. That's what it is. You fucking pass one law, then you pass another, and then another, and then another, and then suddenly you have nothing you're allowed to fucking do or say.
But you've been saying everybody's been saying this. I don't think nobody here is in disagreement on the EU sucks.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much a slippery slope as a planned route.
The EU has been doing this since the EU is formed.
The EU's been doing this since it was the common market.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, they got this. Now they're going to try this. No, I'm sure they've got everything lined out. Just.
Okay, so Batman. The argument I heard earlier from Voice of One was that the UK will leave, so it's not going to matter to them. Is that your assessment as well? Because I don't see them leaving. They haven't left yet.
Unfortunately, our Prime Minister is a Remainer, and I think she's stalling so that we only leave in name only, which means we'll end up as a vassal state. Yeah, that means we'll be subject to all the EU laws like we are now, but we won't have a say in anything.
Yeah, but you guys realize that the UK doesn't matter, right?
Matters to the people who live here.
Yeah, but you're not the US, so it doesn't matter.
Well, the US doesn't matter to me because I don't live there.
Yeah, well, we control the internet.
I don't care.
Well, I thought we gave up. I thought we gave up ICANN to the US.
Hold on. You can give up. Tell that to China.
Well, no. Isn't this why I asked earlier when President Trump writes?
Is that why all the Chinese
ICANN is ours?
Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
I'm just fucking around with you. I know it pisses you off.
It doesn't. I'm just fucking around with you. I've dealt with people, Americans who truly believe what you're saying, and
I know
they're far less intelligent than you are.
That man is actually a high-level troll. He's exactly what you said.
And besides, as I keep saying to these people, we didn't actually lose the War of Independence. It was all faked just to keep the people happy.
Oh, go
Fake
fuck.
Fake news. Fake news.
Fuck right off,
He shoots.
Batman.
He scores.
Wait a minute. All right, well, round two then.
Yeah, now you got the American.
Yeah, that wasn't actually tea in Boston Harbor. It was coffee.
Oh, dude, I prefer coffee.
Actually, do you want to hear something? A bit of truth about the War of Independence. It's the first time a submarine was actually used.
Oh yeah. Ironclad or something like that.
Not.
No.
Yes,
no,
it is.
not.
Because
No, it's not. The first time a submarine was used was in the Civil War, and the Confederates made it. I know that.
The first time.
What do you define as a submarine?
Actually,
Don't fuck with me, dude.
The first time a submarine was used, it was in the Civil War. It was this American guy. It was basically a barrel with a snorkel.
No, and they blew up the ship they were aiming at, and it was a Confederate submarine.
No, they weren't aiming at anything. It was. He pedalled up. It was pedal powered. He went up to the British ships in the harbour, and he was using
he's right. God damn it!
Drill holes in the fucking ships to sink them.
That is amazing. He was using wily.
Yes,
pretty much. But the British naval frigate, one of the lookouts saw the snorkel, they were alerted, and they chased him out of the harbour and basically killed him.
I posted a picture in Discord.
Okay, you're really gonna fuck with me about history. That's what's going on right now, Batman. Is that the way you want to go right now?
To be fair, his
like,
example
fuck the Joker.
is,
You should be worried about me. Start fucking with me about
his example is literally out of the catalog.
Meanwhile, in Ireland, those fucking kids have more beer than I do. Anyway.
Oh, come on, mad dog. This like.
I know that's not true. I have a beer right next to me.
Mad. Let's face it. You're American. In the UK, and in Ireland, there are teetotalers who could drink you under the table.
And Hoodie Demon is a prick right now. So, okay, all right. I stand corrected. I give in. If you prove me wrong, I'm wrong. So there you go, Batman. You win this one.
Thank you.
Oh, Hammer's spot in the chat for the Mad Yankees revisionist history lesson. Fuck you.
Also, another thing.
This is what happens on the internet. This is why you can't have censorship and you can't feel bad. Like you have to laugh it off and move on. And go ahead, Vash. Sorry.
Another thing I was looking into, and I gotta say thank you, Dork Oracle, for giving the idea. But I've been looking into it, and there's a thing called a stream boss that you can implement to whoever. I'm thinking that this would be a good idea for your stream because it's political and talking science or sci-fi, religion. You stroke a broad stroke,
But then we won't have Cabbage and MC going on for.
No. What
that
it
sounds
would
like
be
fascism.
Is the chat, the person that would make the most donation would be able to give us the topic that we need to discuss.
So it's literally money is speech.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Money is the level of
gives
speech.
the topic, not the speech. Because the speech can always.
Yeah,
I mean,
you just,
for fuck's sake,
just
we started on Article 13 and then we went over to fucking.
I like this
Shira.
idea. I'm starting to rub my hands together.
Yeah, but you just said that, that the person
Is your yarmulke on
dictates who would speak.
Who would
You just
start
said
the
that the
topic?
person
Because
who
we
doing
came
this-
here without a topic until Madlib was like, Article 13. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but I like the controlled chaos that we've already got.
But
That's
then it
what
would
we've
be
always
more
had.
chaos.
No, we need to assemble the
can't-
7 Chaos Emeralds and then we can use.
Oh, leave Sonic out of this.
You can't have controlled chaos. By definition, chaos is not controlled.
Somebody say more
I want to be
chaos.
super memes.
There we go. Aw.
What was
that? But I'm not leaving the chat. I'll just be right back real quick. The kids are getting into shit. I'll be right back.
But
Right, let's
They're kids.
let's boot him while he's gone.
Yeah, now it is chaos.
Oh yeah,
now
that
it's
there's,
a total takeover. I just moved him into the waiting room.
You hear
see
there's
what
a
I
rumor
just
that
did there. Now,
Can
now
I get
he's-
this word in edgeways, you drunken bastard?
No, you're not allowed.
Well,
Did
I mean,
somebody say
I've been
total
quiet
takeover?
I've
Yep.
been
Yes.
I've been quiet for a while now, so I've been letting you guys talk for about 2.5
Wait,
hours.
no, Vash, this is an interesting concept. Is there anything that actually like keeps track, or like if you could literally just have so much allotted time, or
I know,
don't
right?
know.
There's
Or have the chat vote to help you, like kind of like back
well,
in the
that's
day,
the
like
thing is it is a chat vote because anybody that's the stream boss, how you take down the stream boss is having an assembly of other people that will be able to get the idea.
so
Yeah,
it's
but
just
in order to do that, they have to spend an ass load of cash.
Yeah. Actually, the best way to take down the stream boss is locate his current whereabouts, hire an assassin with a high-powered sniper rifle, and then just sit back and wait for the shot.
Twitch Twitch has bits, and I'm trying to look into YouTube for something that's like that, but I'm not. I'm not seeing it
Streamlabs.
yet.
Oh, not anything
For
connected.
Discord or
No,
something.
like something
But-
like bits that would be equivalent to, like, so that way people could watch ads or something like that, and it would be.
It's commercial.
Yeah.
Well, that's all it is. Things, yeah, it's gone full circle a bit, but if somebody really likes it, it's why the hell not? That was half Alex Jones.
Have you heard the latest from Hollywood? Apparently, there's a strong rumor going around that Henry Cavill's been fired from Superman, and they're thinking about giving it to Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah, I tweeted that.
Superman?
That's fucking stupid. Yeah.
The role for Superman.
like Mike.
Give it to fucking Nicolas Cage.
That would be interesting.
Give that shit to Nick. Oh shit. I mean, hey guys, there was no
Yeah.
no
I was gonna
takeover
say,
at all.
thanks a lot. In my own server, I got kicked out of a room. Are you?
There was no takeover at all.
Someone actually booted you? That was funny as hell.
Man,
I
you
run
have
this
a high concentration of trolls in your Discord at the moment.
Okay, guys.
Whoever does that next is fucking out of here.
Wait, no, you can't, because most of us are on. At least me and Shirati got right.
But yeah, the first one was me. I'll admit it. I did try and take over Mad Lib. First it was the show. Now it's the world.
No, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Is this a hostile takeover? What the fuck's going on here?
Ladies,
Hey,
It's a
Odie.
mutton.
Welcome back.
and everyone else. Here's the thing. Imagine this. my
All
friends,
right,
for-
that one.
just-
What? Who did that one?
Just step back and imagine if you actually had like a mod tool. If you were having a heated discussion or debate, think about it back like a pro wrestling match. All of a sudden, like Hulk Hogan starts to Hulk up. Bret Hart, all of a sudden, just like he executes like that backdrop or something like that. And all of a sudden, like the crowd starts cheering and stuff like that. You see this very often in the chat. What happens if chat could use keywords or like numbers or whatever, hashtag, whatever you want to help push, to help give someone else. Like if somebody's talking over you and all of a sudden they're not really making a point, everyone's kind of booing them and they're cheering the other person. What happens if you had a feature where it's like, all right, they're getting additional time to talk and
Yeah.
it's going better.
Well, I mean, the thing is like this would be like I know that Mad Lib's at 1,000 subs, so I'm trying to get it to where the chat can be even more so involved than it already is.
Oh,
And
dude, the chat
that's
is
how I'm
amazing.
trying to think of it.
Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of these streams and stuff. I just talking with folks in the chat. It's like, oh, it's pretty cool. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, you just start talking with folks, and he's like, damn, there's some pretty smart people around here.
Oh yeah, very much
Do
so.
you really want the chat involved though? They're all a bunch of trolls, and they know it.
Well, you're a
no
troll
worries about
too.
it. I got love for my
Troll too,
trolls.
Fair enough. Oh god, how many streams have I rated so far? And it was
No. Here's the thing. I'm starting to come up with.
Are you really proud of that?
Am I proud of making that bitch cry in 20 minutes? Damn right I fucking.
But here's the thing, Shirati. MD did not like the people he was trolling.
Be right back.
So that makes it right.
I don't know. The day that I can't make fun of people on the internet's the day that I'm leaving.
Well, isn't this our ultimate? What was it, Zoe Quinn, or who was the gal that went from the UN?
Oh, I don't know.
Lauren Sutton. No.
Anita Sarkeesian.
Hermione
Yeah.
Granger?
Oh, I like Hermione. But yeah, Anita Sarkeesian.
You would like her, fucking. God damn it, dude. I haven't had to watch Harry Potter. I have kids, so fuck yourself.
Dude, it's so much fun. But
The
dude,
books are better.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Like fuck you, you little
dude,
bitch.
all I know is eating Chinese
No,
after
it's
the little toasting.
Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Oh, hey, you guys Expelliarmus out of here for a second.
Oh, Leviosa. You
Well,
have to do this, Harry. You're the child.
No, but here's the thing. What happens if you did have somebody kind of doing a bit of overseeing and stuff like that, and like when we get off topic, like
pretty
Like
much
now?
every 6 sentences or so.
Like now.
Dude, all of a sudden it's like
Right now?
Article
How many times have
13,
I said we're
hemorrhoids.
supposed to be talking about this?
A
Yeah, but
good
you're
number.
a woman. We don't even hear you.
Wow.
God.
Come
So while we're
on.
throwing Mad Lib under the bus.
MD, here's a. Why do you
Dodge,
think
do
certain
you
articles
really
get
want to
written?
fuck with me?
Okay, hey guys, give me a second. I'm gonna get the chat involved real quick. We got 17 people watching. All right, this thing has been going on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Do you guys want us to keep going? Press 1 if you want us to keep going. Press 2 if you want us to start wrapping it up on hour 3. Go ahead
Why they
and
do
go
that?
ahead and do that
No,
while that's
Shirley, I
happening.
ain't scared of you. You got to shoot your husband
Three.
before you even get close to where I'm at. So, yeah, he gets to deal with you.
Wait, I've got
we
a
got-
question here. Who the hell let the woman talk?
Fuck you, Batman.
We got some
I'll leave
ones
the door
and a
open for
3.
you.
The stream is a bunch of articles waiting to. Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. If technically
Okay,
one
we got
can
more ones
create.
and 2s.
No, here's the thing, dude. But if you can literally write on a piece of paper, disseminate that piece of paper, that piece of paper then becomes a written article. You can cite those articles for certain investigations and stuff. It's like, all right, so we have a stream. We write some articles about the stream. We then cite content based upon articles and stuff covered in said stream.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching the chat and they want us to keep going. So keep
Yeah.
up the banter, bitches.
Yeah, let's keep
No, no, no,
on.
but what-
This
no,
is
no, no,
political
but
jargon with the dargon. That's the thing, is this doesn't necessarily have a complete topic. Like,
Well, I think we touched on something earlier,
Yeah.
and Meme went off on some kind of weird Sarkeesian thing, and then we went to Harry Potter. But what Matt says, he likes having a lot of fun doing that sort of thing. Sharati, did you kind of think that's not right?
Wait, what? Sorry. My husband DM'd me.
Streaming, rating streams.
Oh, yeah, I asked him if he felt okay with it or whatever. I don't remember.
And he likes it. He likes it lots.
Oh, yeah, well, to each their own, I guess.
Well, isn't that the online equivalent of going out to two dudes that have a beef with each other after school and being like, fight, 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 fight?
Usually. And
Well, no,
everybody
you know
likes
why
those
it's
types
fun?
of debates.
You know why it's fun? It's the same reason it was fun in middle school when you sank the sub, when you made the substitute teacher fucking cry. Same reason. It's a sick, twisted fucking enjoyment. It's
It's not necessarily the fight thing. It's like, what if the stream got rated right now? Would we
World
make
Star.
a fight? Would we make a fight anywhere? There wouldn't necessarily be a
Oh,
fight.
dude, put out the link. Put it on the Twitter. It's a violation of the Tigerson principle.
Yeah, I'm in the U.S. I can still send out links.
Damn. U.S. At least we have memes.
Oh. Yeah, I like the United.
Well, no, and we don't. I saw in the chat. Joshua said blood sports. That's not what we do here, really.
It's not like a fight outside with like some glass bottles, the occasional knife, and like the sidearm and stuff. It's not like completely taking each other apart. It's more like kind of like professional wrestling. There's like heavy banter. Sometimes people get hurt. Sometimes folks go too far. I mean, we all know, hey, that's how Bret Hart's career got ended. Goldberg was a bit overzealous, and that Sabak kick took him out.
You got to bring up my favorite wrestler. That's how
I am to hit the point home, but because it's a good example. I'm comparing it to pro wrestling. No, that's what happens in a lot of those other things. What ends up happening, people get hurt and going home and stuff. And isn't that kind of what happened to the Warski Live?
I think that is what happened to Warski Live. If we do have to talk about Andy Warski, we can. I like his new content, the video way he's going, to where he's being creative and making a story. He needs to knock off the weird live streams he was doing. He was burning his nipples on stream. All right, that is nothing like what we do here.
He was a man. Stuff to keep the folks entertained and stuff. But the
So
thing
you
is,
like the manscaping?
Yeah, what I'm saying is at least the duo between him and JF, and like they did the stream on like mental health at one point. I'll be like straight up, I'm like, dude, that was a pretty fucking good stream, and a lot of it, stuff I heard, I'm like, I could.
You guys do know the background of that, right? Obviously, if everybody knows.
I thought it was like a friend of a friend.
Yeah, JF was like, was kind of being a dick to Worski, to be honest, from what I hear.
Oh yeah, no, that's perspective, and I can definitely see that. No, I was just citing that as an example, in that if you take it down the blood sports route, often that is not necessarily sustainable. Sometimes it could be if it's done in the right way, I suppose, but it was one of those things where it's just kind of over the top stuff. What I'm saying is, if you're talking about more of on like Netflix productions, it's more of like, yeah, it's chaos, but it's in the over the top cartoonish way. It's a show.
Well, no, and that's fair. And I like to argue ideas, not degrade people. And I feel like that's what the internet blood sports
Shut up, loser.
is just tearing people apart.
You're a
for their
loser.
own personality or whatever, not their ideas. If you're a communist, I'll tear you apart for being a fucking commie. But I'm not going to tear you apart because, you have bad hair or something? You know what I mean?
Says Hitler 2020.
Yeah. Yeah. Vote Hitler 2020. God damn it.
Well, and I think that's this whole fiasco that's been going on. And I'm not even going to fucking mention anything, but that's the problem. Is when you attack one of them, it's and not I say attack when you make fun of one of them. Oh, well, it must be against my beliefs. No, I don't give a shit about your beliefs. It's you, just you.
Yeah. I've noticed with this lot, the SJWs are feminists and their ilk. They use these words to shut you up, like Nazi, racist, sexist, misogynist. Whenever they use those words on you, turn around and say, "Yes, I am, and I'm proud of it." They don't know what to do next. It's like it's beyond their programming.
I'm like, yeah, and tell me how you really feel.
Well, no, real quick, Tema is in the chat and she says, Mad does streams where political opposites clash on occasion. I think it's best to keep it that way. To be honest, I agree, Tema. This has worked for me, and the channel is still gaining steam. Yeah, I think I don't want to go into the drama realm. I don't want to fucking roll around in the mud.
Not the drama, but like comics and sci-fi and the stuff that we all talk about and that we all enjoy.
And occasionally aliens.
There's the thing of political, opposing points of view is what has fueled Western civilization since its inception. It's what's made it different to every other civilization on the face of the planet. It's probably why we've accomplished so much in so short a time, especially when compared to other civilizations. And the current political climb, the politically correct SJWs and their like, are trying to take that away, and it would take the fire away from Western civilization. I could see it being the end of Western civilization, actually.
Well, I mean, we already had an African woman trying to say that we need to decolonize our education.
Oh, that idiot.
System. So
the one who believes that. Yeah, you can't prove that man in that village couldn't call down the lightning on you. Yes, you can.
Well, yeah, no, and that's what I feel like, to wrap it back around to Article 13 again, that's what I feel like the EU is trying to stifle, is the argument of free ideals. When you argue your ideas, even if it's a bad one, it will rise to the surface and dissipate. People will know what it is. If you try to silence and censor, you're going to drive them into the underground. You're going to end up with the fucking KKK. I mean,
aren't you affecting the education system? Like, if you're going to school and you're trained in school to cite your sources, are we now taxing the schools and the kids going to school?
Yeah, that's how it works.
That seems like a method of
contention, perhaps. Maybe a good one many people can agree on.
Well, yeah, it's like
it's the principle of it.
It's literally like something from 1984.
Wait, did memes just say it was a good thing?
No, I think he said it was a bad thing.
Tried to throw him under the bus. I'll go with it. Yeah, he said it was good.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. He broke up on my end, so I asked if he said
I
it was a
say
good
things
thing.
sometimes in slightly opaque ways as well. I'll say it in a very neutral tone, and it can be hard to tell if I'm for it or against it. It's just like, I just look at the situation.
No, I'm serious.
Shirati,
You did break up.
Shirati, memes is a militant communist. He's a militant Marxist.
Well, I get after him
Aggressive
for a lot of
conservative.
shit, but if he had said it was a good thing, I was about to jump down his dragon throat.
Well, Shirati, I've actually heard memes say that Stalin was a bit of a sissy when it comes down to it all.
What? That man put a hit on the president for a couple of years when he was hammered. Nobody had the balls to tell him that he did it.
What was that? Who are you talking about? You said somebody was hammered. I figured you were talking about.
No, when Joseph Stalin, in a night after imbibing a lot of vodka, he put out a hit on the President of the United States. And it was just kind of an off-the-cuff thing, and nobody told him for like 2 years that, sir, you actually have a military operation to assassinate the President of the United States.
Yeah. Like,
But no, okay, so I don't know. I mean, I guess we already strayed away from Article 13. It's just, damn it, censorship has been in the news how many times in the last month? Can you count? Because I can't.
I already
talk
saw
about
this
it
coming.
every day.
I saw this coming.
No, but let's assume. All right, let's assume this happened. What happens the day after? Will this not give fuel to, like somebody was saying? It's just like, when shit happens, what do we do? What do we do? We overcome. Better and stuff like that. Nothing motivates a person like if they feel like they're about to be obliterated.
Well, in that case, what happens when shit happens? Most of us run around like headless chickens in a blind panic.
Yeah.
I know Shirati does. Not.
No. But if you're good, but if you're good with chickens, you treat them well, you feed them, and you take care of them. Maybe you can actually herd them in a decent direction.
Shirati, I just said you do not. And if you're gonna, like you said, the door's open.
I'm picturing Batman sitting there talking inside of like a cowl and everything, and there literally being a door behind him with Alfred peeking out.
Hey,
He'll just throw his freaking cat at me.
Wait, are you saying Cynic is Alfred?
Alfred did kick Batman's ass one day.
Okay, I'm gonna take off.
Alfred.
Are you on about Gotham?
You saw man.
Take it easy.
Yep. Bye.
Hold on. Are you on about the Gotham show?
No, it was a comic.
Alfred beat Superman's ass in a comic. Let's be real.
That was the Injustice comic.
Yeah. One of my favorite all-time comics that I've ever read.
Yep.
Just to basically hear in my head the Alfred just going, "I'm very disappointed in you." And just proceed to headbutt and beat the shit out of Superman. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah, he got killed for it later though.
Yeah, but still,
it was worth it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of in a holding pattern, seeing if we can get a Big Fat in here.
Well, I mean, he's asking if we're live.
Maybe.
Hey, Mad Lib.
Well, you know, Tess Holiday was on Cosmopolitan cover.
Oh, I know. I wish I didn't.
Apparently, that my local news agents didn't stock that issue because they couldn't get it in the shop.
They couldn't fit it on the case.
They couldn't fit it in the shop.
It was popular,
No, they just couldn't fit it in the shop.
but it's a magazine.
It's a joke.
It weighed too much though. It just broke all the shelves that they put it on.
No, that won't increase the
Well, no,
mass.
though. I have a question for Batman though. Article 13 and Article 11 are all bullshit. I totally agree. But when are you guys going to fix your own issues? Even after you leave the EU all the way, you're still going to have knife bans. You still can't carry a goddamn potato peeler.
Hopefully, yeah, that'll get sorted after we leave the EU. Because, public opinion is starting to go very much against the establishment these days, on both sides of the Atlantic, I might add.
I think people are ready for something new.
Yeah, but trying to censor everything, I don't think that's going to help.
Oh no, that's not going to work at all. That's just going to piss a bunch of folks off. People get more pissed. They'll get more ground in.
I mean,
more
have we
folks will
seen
flee to more of the edges.
Have we not learned how powerful the internet is just by looking at fucking 4chan?
Yep.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point, too. I mean, what does more damage? People like us who talk about news and politics and actually source our material, or people like the 4chaners who will
it's obvious.
flame-throwing
No,
fucking
it's not
drone to burn
just
your
them.
flag.
It's obvious.
Them.
You.
But, like, what I'm saying is, like, yeah, we have the ability to speak, but, you know, are you really Europe? I'm gonna say this, UK. I'm talking to whoever fucking put this in power. Are you really that afraid of what people are going to say?
The politicians certainly are.
Well, at some point, depending on how far it gets,
I've been saying this for a while. Modern politicians, they're not like the politicians that were in power when I was a kid. The modern politicians, they don't do the job of governance. All they do is try and work out how to get elected the next term. That's all they're interested in. They're not interested in doing the job.
Yeah, that's their incentive to continue on. Just in order to do that, you need to get reelected.
That's the only thing that they're interested in, is being reelected. They're not interested in doing the job. They don't do the job.
Doesn't term limits and perhaps like an actual measurement of maybe how good they're doing, or actually like dealing directly with their constituents on a regular basis.
It's not just that. They won't make the hard decision.
The chat is saying that our volume is super low. Is that on your end in OBS?
Give me a second. Let me go ahead and double check that.
Let's fix that.
Yeah, can everybody give me a mic check?
Mic check.
Mic check.
All right.
Taxation is stuffed.
No, it's not.
I like turtles.
Yes, it is.
All right, everybody's on the yellow bar now. So
right now, I can do that.
Okay, everybody's on the yellow bar right now, so it should be pretty clear. I have to kind of configure that whenever I'm doing the music and stuff, so that way it doesn't get too loud. But did everybody sound okay? Chat, go ahead and
yeah, let us know if we're well. Can you hear the screaming?
I turned it up and it was pretty good. Big Fat Brian wants in.
Let me know when you want to get derailed. Hey, the chat has spoken, and they want us to extend. I don't know what the hell we're going to devolve into, but, you know, it's political jargon with the dargun. The name's vague enough, so let's do it.
Yeah, talking about how powerful the internet is. I mean, look what it did. Look what it did to Shia LaBeouf's career when he tried to use it.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
It was a funny dumpster fire, though, wasn't it?
Like I said before, the moment that you feel, or the moment that you seem to try and control it, is the moment that you will have no control over it.
Oh, Mad, can I shill for somebody, please?
Well, first off, I do have a BitChute and a Patreon and also a Streamlabs. You might want to check that out. But now, go ahead and shill for whoever.
It's I don't know if anybody in the chat knows them. Renelations, Renego. They do a daily live stream.
Batman
Rather
put the
amusing.
link in the chat.
Cringe. I will try and get the link. Yes, but they need. Wait, Ren is after more subscribers because she wants to get the subscribers up to about 2,000. Because if she does, she's going to live on a chat. She's going to give her husband Igor a makeover.
Oh.
A makeover.
A makeover.
That was you built me up a lot for that, and damn it.
Hey,
and there you go. It's in the
I
chat.
mean, right now, I've got Dork Oracle on a challenge that she's trying to get me to where I can get 500 subs within a week, and then I have to wear a tutu.
Oh, pirate in a tutu, that'd be so cute.
They're trying to do that. And while that's votes going, Lady Wolfheart decided to also put up a vote whether I should shave or not. Like, have, like, my facial
first
hair
off,
gone.
dude. Okay, first off, why the fuck are you gonna even agree to it? Yeah, I'll wear a tutu.
At
I would
first,
never
at
do
first
that,
it
ever.
was a joke. At first, I was like, she goes, I was like, well, you're gonna get 500 like within a month? She goes, I can get it within a week. I go, you know, yeah, and I'll wear a tutu. And she goes, you're gonna wear that fucking tutu. And I was like, all right.
I remember back when I was 24.
Well, no, and Brian,
going
I'm
to be-
sure you just joined us. Welcome, sir.
Hello,
this is the
Brian.
first time you've ever been actually on my channel, so welcome.
Welcome.
I'm sure you have something to say about the tutu comment. Go for it.
Oh yeah, no. When I was a wee lad, I grew up in a land where I learned ballet for 7 years. I was in the Nutcracker 4 times. It was a good time and a bad time. All the little gay boys dancing around me. That's when I first knew that I would be friends with the gays.
That was a good Welsh accent.
It involves a lot of practice.
I know, right?
And a lot of gays.
A lot of gays, man.
And a lot of sheep.
Enough with the fakeness, because with spending enough time with these weirdos, I've learned to tell the difference between the fakes and the real.
Wait, we're the weirdos? Is that chain fucking too loose? Where's your
Yes.
husband? He needs to tighten that chain.
My husband's at work, bitch, and I'm not tied to the stove today.
Oh
No,
shit!
no,
they
she's
let
not.
her off the leash.
No,
She found the
no.
bolt cutters. Damn it.
No, you got it wrong. She's not tied to the stove today. They've installed a chain.
Yeah, so she can go around the house. So I guess that gets her to do laundry and stuff.
Oh, she's got an ankle monitor on.
Actually, I can't lift the baskets of laundry, so my husband does them for me until I'm completely healed, and then I have to go back to doing the shit.
Well, no, and I told her husband that he needs a shot collar. That's what needs to happen.
Hey, that
Then she
works.
just can't leave the property. He'll be
You know,
fine.
it's that old saying is true, isn't it? A woman's work is never done. That's why they marry men.
You are so much fun, Batman.
Oh,
I
that
know.
was beautiful. I gotta say that.
So, this live stream is about Article 13.
It
This
was,
live stream's
yeah,
about
so
whatever you want to
let's,
talk
let's
about.
hear what he has to say about it.
Well, actually, I was just gonna ask how many people on this call right now are actually in the EU.
Yeah,
How's it feel, cuck boy? Ugh, get cucked.
I used to like you, big fat Brian. Now I pray that your soul is reborn as a tapeworm in a bulimic stomach.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you guys are realizing the dream over there, man. I see how things are going. Someday you will fully be engrossed in socialism. It'll be great, guys.
And Big Fat Brian, someday you might be a real boy.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, he's a man right now. I don't think that they regress, Sharadi.
Hold on. Pictures
I'm
of
a
that,
man now.
or it isn't true.
And this just turned into a troll chat.
What the fuck did I do? That's.
I mean, we asked if it was okay if I derailed it. That's
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
Dodge, this has been a troll chat since Cynic walked in.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know we were being serious. Oh shit, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, we're never serious. Don't worry about it. We're all trolls here.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on the whole Article 13?
I mean, it's pretty evident. It kills a lot of small businesses.
Yeah.
You're any small outfit that can't pay for, I guess, the news is pretty much fucked. So anyone on YouTube here that's in the EU, anyone trying to even nail YouTube channels, those are fucked. You can't use anyone else's technique if you're otherwise it might fall
Oh
under
god,
copyright.
so we're gonna have the Vlogs Brothers shit like with the kids react thing.
Well, I don't even know if you can do reaction videos anymore, depending on who it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is like they were trying to do the whole like, oh well, we originated the react and all of that. And it's like,
okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna have shit like that too. That brings up another fucking problem with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm really glad that I don't live in the EU right now.
America.
All I
Fuck
can say
yeah.
is, every year, a lot of people from Mexico and Cuba all migrate to this great country illegally. Maybe you walk off on a visa. I'm just saying.
You mean the fucking aliens?
Actually,
Oh, those fucking Roswell Greys, they're a bunch of bastards.
Well, no, to be serious though for a minute though, I brought it up earlier, but Brian just joined, so I'll bring it up again. That affects even us in the United States because we have large demographics of people that watch our channels from the EU.
Yeah, that's true. You're going to be blocked in that country.
The EU isn't a country yet.
Sorry. Well, yeah. Sorry. By country I mean that horrible squid thing that you haven't called a state yet, but basically runs as a state over all of your countries.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Omegon?
Yeah, sure. That's what I'm talking about.
There's nothing horrible about Omegon.
No, he didn't silence you.
Thing.
Hey, he is an overlord, and you should not be spoken about negatively like that.
Brian, if you keep on top of the virgin sacrifices, Omegon is a very nice guy.
Yeah.
And you got him.
Fair enough.
Oh, also to the UK, I gotta do something really quick, and can you just give it just a second?
Yes, Bomos, please.
Give it just a second. Okay, there we go. I can only do a few seconds of that, but you guys can look that up.
Also, I'm really glad that Omegon found a way to solve the incel problem.
Bash, was something supposed to play?
Oh, it did. It's on the stream.
Oh, okay.
I just played America. Fuck yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we're gonna play something, Shirati.
Oh,
Fuck
make
you,
sure
don't you
it's
dare.
not copyrighted, otherwise we won't be able to listen to it next week.
Oh no! You see, if I just put in like the 6 seconds, it just gives it into a meme and a reference.
Oh, hey, have you heard the?
So
the
it's not
EU's
available in the UK, sadly.
Yeah,
Sorry
exactly.
about that.
Have you heard the EU's new anthem?
John the non-believer. John.
See, and here I thought you were going to play the Red Army Choir.
No, it's worse than that.
Yeah, with some stomping of armies.
You know the incredible stupidity of the people in charge of it. They're bringing all these people in from the Middle East because they know that these people will vote for big government, right? But what they don't realise is that these people coming in from the Middle East are fundamental Muslims. Their only real purpose in life is to spread Islam, and what they will potentially do by continuing to bring these people in is turn Europe into a caliphate.
Okay, but the government will still be in power. Some kind of government will still be in power.
Yeah, the Islamic government.
Oh.
I mean, you guys, do you guys remember that show Trip in the Riff?
Yeah, I loved it.
Nope.
Remember how they were in space and they had the space Muslims?
Oh wow.
That's going to be you guys in the next 100 years.
Yeah. It's funny though.
Less than 100 years.
It's not so long back that you could get away with a shit ton more on British TV than you could on American TV. We used to have we used to have like American, celebrities come over here and they're getting interviewed on British TV, and the presenter would say something, and the lot of them was shocked. What, you can actually say that on TV?
Well, didn't you guys used to have the topless news or something?
Not that I know of, but we did have very risky comedy sketches that wouldn't get aired in American TV.
After a certain time of day, isn't there like a channel that you can flip to, and that's just like fucking, I don't know a good reference, but just like nudie channel?
I wouldn't know. I haven't watched TV in about 7-8 years.
Yeah,
because I think it was like 8 o'clock or something like that you just flipped to channel 6 and
Wait, never mind. You guys have to pay your TV license for internet as well. My bad.
No, we don't have to pay our internet TV license for internet too. That's wrong.
Oh no?
No.
Okay, my bad.
And you can get out of paying the TV license if you don't watch live TV, which is basically any program which is broadcast at the time you're watching it. So that's how I got out of paying my TV license. If I want to watch a show, I will just watch it on a catch-up channel online.
I mean, I'm gonna admit I don't really know a whole bunch about the European Union or your country for that matter. It's sort of,
it was a bad idea in a lot of ways for the United Kingdom to join the common market, let alone the EU, because we're not European.
Yeah. Did you guys see that whole slew of Remainers all over Twitter talking about how, oh my God, what did we do?
Yes, and I laughed at each and every one of them.
That was great. That was, I mean, just to see them all like just freak out, like, we didn't know this could happen. It was great.
What made me laugh about them is it was especially the young ones who said, oh, it's all these old people because they're afraid of change. Well, sorry lads, but the older you are, the more change has been part of your fucking life. Especially when people who are actually considered old these days, even just me, I'm 54, and look at the amount of change I've seen in my life.
Holy shit, you're old.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, gone from black and white TV to colour TV to fucking the internet.
What'd you call me?
So you're saying...
Wait a minute. I had a black and white TV. I'm only 33 years old. Don't give me that shit.
Yeah, but you didn't live in a time when black and white TV was commonplace.
So
Most
you're
people
saying
only had a black and white TV.
So you're saying once you were 7 years old, your mama told
Oh
you...
no. Oh no.
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 Well,
I
I'm
was
saying...
I was going to quote then. I'm not going to sing the whole song.
Good.
Yeah. Don't want to get another copyright, you know.
No, because I would have to hunt you down and kill you.
Hey,
You can't even hunt down the Joker, Batman.
Yes, I can.
You don't
we
even
got
kill
so
the
far
Joker, you bastard.
And tried so hard. Yet in the end,
Superman hasn't killed Lex fucking Luthor yet.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but
Superman's a little bitch boy. We already know that. Batman is supposed to be better than that.
Yeah, but like has been said many times, yeah, Batman crosses that line, he wouldn't be able to come back, and he would be far worse than any of his rogues gallery.
But Lex Luthor is smarter than Batman anyway, though.
Actually, no, he isn't, and that's been proven many times.
Oh,
Where
I
at?
actually want to hear that.
How
I
so?
want to hear that a little bit.
They're apparently on a par.
Oh, you just said he was smarter.
Well, no, I see
No,
what
I didn't.
Batman's saying here, actually, because Lex Luthor, if you look at him, he's the tech guy in the Superman universe and all that. That's why he could actually stand up to Superman. Well, Batman is the tech guy in that universe, and that's why he can capture all the criminals. So
But
Lex Luthor versus
They're
Batman
in
would
the
be pretty
same
epic.
universe.
Yeah, they're in the same universe.
Yeah.
That like in the most
kind
recent
of.
one, in the
they're
most
in the
recent one,
same
Lex
universe,
Luthor
different
possessed
towns.
Batman, or maybe the Joker possessed Batman, but they
The
ended
Joker
up fighting
possessed
recently.
Batman. The Joker had.
I haven't read that one.
What he did was he injected. He had a disease, and this was actually also in the Arkham game series. But he had a disease that Batman was trying to find the cure for, and Batman was already trying to find the cure for it. But the Joker, what he did was he injected 5 people with the Joker venom, which is just basically the Joker's blood, and all of the rest of them died. Batman was the only one that actually survived it.
And I never watched Batman versus Superman because I couldn't be bothered.
Oh, it's garbage.
Who did win that?
Oh
fight?
yeah. That's
the only
garbage.
good thing is the only good part in it is the scene where Batman goes to rescue Superman's mother.
Yeah. And then they realize that they have a mom that's named the same.
Martha.
Yeah.
I thought that was just stupid. The way that they portrayed Lex
Is that
Luthor was
just
retarded.
lazy writing? See, this is why no.
Yes, it was.
This is
Very
why I
evil
just didn't bother with the goddamn movie, and I've never seen it. It sounds like bullshit. And I watched Freddy vs. Jason, for God's sake. So don't fuck with me.
It was so bad that wasn't Lex Luthor. That was an evil Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
They actually seem to have written Lex Luthor more like the Joker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have, because Lex Luthor was that figure. He was the corporate master that literally rose into power by working his way to the top, and that's the reason why he had that mindset. And the thing is, he doesn't see himself as a villain. No,
he doesn't. Not the modern iteration. The earlier ones, yes, he did, but
well, he was.
In all of them, Lex Luthor has been what you would class by the term, the cool intellectual.
Yeah.
And I don't mean cool as in, you know what I mean?
No, and when Lex Luthor isn't trying to destroy the world, he's actually not that much of a villain. You know what I mean? And it's like, he's kind of a normal person. It's like the villain in, not the new Spider-Man movies, but the one that was best friends with Spidey in fucking the first movie.
Spider-Man 2.
Kind of like him turning into a villain, you know?
Dr. Octopus in the film, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Doc Ock was alright. He was humanized, and I really enjoyed that. Like, you can't say that he wasn't humanized in that movie. Like, at the very end. And if you guys say spoiler alert, fuck off. It's like, how many years has that movie been out? Yeah.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
But no, to be fair, comics isn't my strongest topic, really. But I do know Batman. I read the Dark Knight series. My uncle sent it to me as a birthday gift, and it was fucking amazing. It was before, the movies came out or whatever. That's what they were based on. And it was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Mad Lib, your kids are dying.
Yeah, I still think the best iteration of Batman was Batman the Animated Series, because unlike the comics and unlike a lot of the films, he's shown as fallible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in
Batman
the
was
cartoons, he
fallible.
was fallible too.
Pardon?
Batman was fallible back in the comics long ago when he was killing people with fucking guns.
That was like for 2 or 3 issues.
Yeah, but he was still fallible.
Yeah.
I mean, do they even
And
count
Superman
as canon anymore?
No.
No.
There we go.
But Superman, around the same time, was shooting mini Supermans out of his fucking hand.
No, that was in the 50s. not
Was
the
that
not the
in
40s.
50s?
Yes, it was the 50s or
Yeah.
the early 60s. And
Well,
that
no,
was
and
only one issue.
To be honest, though, the comics I really do know about would be like The Walking Dead. I buy the trades, you know, so the collection of like 10 or 15 comics, and V for Vendetta, Spawn, you know, all the indie comics is what I fucking
Oh,
really
I
paid
would
attention
recommend.
to.
I would recommend for you the Darkness series. Very, very awesome game. Very, very even more awesome comics.
The first one.
The first game was awesome. The second game was eh.
Yeah.
But the comics were a lot better.
I liked, when you're on about games, I like the Dark Corners of the Earth game called Cthulhu. It's a Cthulhu-based game.
Yeah, Call of Cthulhu is kind of like D&D. If you get enough people that'll play it right, then it's a good time.
And then, of course, I think everybody here already knows I'm a Game of Thrones fucking nerd. And I think Big Fat Brian had a phone call. I think that was him that got the ringtone. That's why he left.
Yeah.
Bank holiday Monday is
Game
coming, my lord.
Game of Thrones does not suck. Game of Thrones is awesome, and if you read the books, you really know it's awesome. And
when's the next book?
Graphic novels are fucking great. When's the next book? Don't fuck with me about that.
Jon Snow's a Targaryen.
Jon Snow is a Stark.
No, he's a Targaryen.
House Stark, motherfucker. Winter is coming.
He's a Targaryen.
Already came.
Winter's not here yet. It's only like 65 degrees, but that's not winter. I live in the Cascades, man. Like, it gets cold up in this.
Oh, I meant in the show.
So if you could do it,
yeah.
If anybody on the chat here could do this, then mad, would you getting drunk enough, right, so that he's gullible, and have a friend
You're
turn
a dick,
up,
Batman.
have a friend turn up dressed up in like the movie realistic prosthetics, so that he looks like a White Walker.
Have him freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think that the person who actually... I think that Tony Stark needs to pay copyright, since, you know, the reason
it all comes back around.
is because the originer of the phrase "winter is coming" would be Jack Frost.
Oh, hey, have you noticed?
Wait, you just said Tony Stark.
Did I?
Yeah, you just said Iron Man.
Oh, not Tony.
So he has to pay money to...
He has to pay money to... Let's see here. How many different places?
I've lost my thread of thought here.
Yeah. Well, maybe Game of Thrones has to pay their money to the Marvel.
Have you noticed since Marvel have lost the Chinese audience that they started calling Thor a god in the movies?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Because the Chinese don't like that sort of stuff. That's why they made Thor a Martian.
No, real quick though, Sherardi, what you posted in Discord, I play that music for my daughter, Samantha. She loves that shit. She loves the princess rap battles. So that's funny that you posted that. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, I think we've been going on for a while now, about 3 hours 23 minutes. So let's go ahead and get to wrapping it up a little bit.
All right.
Penoids.
Well,
what are we doing? Well, we extended it a little bit. We were talking originally about Article 13, then we devolved into a bunch of other topics, but I think that everything was said was rather entertaining.
Yeah. And the one thing that should happen to Article 13.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
listening.
shit! You created a meme, Batman. Holy fuck! Batman is now a criminal. The Batman is now a criminal, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, realistically, Batman always was a criminal.
Well, yeah. And technically,
He actually says that in one of the comic
vigilantism.
books. Yeah, there's I forget which one it was, but he's talking about doing something, and Superman's that would make us criminals. And he turns around and he says, "Technically, we always were criminals, Clark."
Yeah. It's like that would make us criminals, not the fact that we blew up several buildings, knocked over several things, but for the good of humanity.
Of course.
Well, at that point, no, I do think we need to wrap it up because I do believe I need to join Penoid here in like half an hour.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Another stream.
Yep.
So, I think okay, the EU is fucked. Don't let them get an army, or you're fucking already conquered by the Nazis.
I don't think the EU's going to last. I don't think the EU's going to last. There's too many of the, especially the eastern countries, like Poland, for instance. Italy, Italy's on about its own version of Brexit.
Yeah.
There's too many dissenting voices in it, and it could never have stood anyway. There's too many old rivalries and enmities in Europe for it to become united.
Yeah.
And nobody trusts the Germans.
Yeah.
Well, no, but my point is, Angela Merkel, she is not Hitler, okay? That's so stupid when everybody calls
No, she's not Hitler. She wants to be Stalin.
There you go. That's where I was going to go, Batman. Thank you very much.
I can read your mind.
There. But I think the EU is fucked, and you guys need to dismantle it before you become completely fucking conquered. And that's just the way it's going to be.
I only agree.
All right, so
and
let's
that's
go
my
ahead
final piece on it, though. I do want to say, please like and subscribe and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And now you guys head with your closing moments.
All right, now what we're gonna do is I'll just go ahead and have mine as last, and we'll go ahead and let it just go in alphabetical order. So Batman, go ahead. Last words on everything.
Kill the EU. Kill it with fire.
just a mic drop at that point.
Pretty much.
Yeah. There's his last words on it. And Cynic, what about yours?
I just want to remind everybody that submarines were used in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, you won that argument. Fuck you. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, that was his last. Apparently, that was his last deal. He just wanted to say that. Sharati.
Sharati is not here.
Oh no, I'm listening. Or is this? Oh wait, no. Okay, she's not talking. All right.
No, she's just not.
Women do not have to be permanently chained to the stove. Fuck you, Dodge.
Of course they do. Yeah, they've got to get some exercise.
Well, we let them run around the yard a little bit. I mean, God damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was cringy. I apologize. God damn it.
Have a change.
I am so telling your wife.
If you have a woman, always make sure you've got a hose because you've got to keep them clean.
Yeah. All right. So. All right. So, Madlib, I think you already. Did you have any other?
Oh yeah,
final
no,
words?
it's all on you now, Vash. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say to everybody watching, thank you so much for watching this long, especially since it was a really long stream. I know that you guys are awesome for doing that. And if you like us, like and share it out. You know, share it out, tell your friends, because every Wednesday it's going to be another political jargon with the dargun. And
well, I've got to admit, I'm only here because Shirati makes you guys look cool.
And the other thing is, if you love us and you love Mad Dodge Productions, then show your support in the Patreon and go ahead and make your donations on the Streamlabs. And you know, I believe that he will be very, very appreciative of it. And my last words of this is, if you decide to try, the internet cannot be controlled. The moment that you think that you can control the internet is the moment that you will lose any and all control over the internet. Just saying that for anybody that's in the EU listening. And yeah, get this Article 13 the fuck out of here. Do you realize that whenever America had it, I don't mean to sound this way, but whenever America had this threatening our country and its memes and porn, then Pornhub rose up and the rest of the internet read until they went home.
My God, you sounded like an utter moron there.
I know.
Oh my God. Do you know we went from a single-digit number to a two-digit number just then?
Yep.
Yeah, there's 10 people watching now.
Yeah,
But,
there was 11 just a second ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, until Mad went into his tirade. Oh, look, there's only 9 watching. 7. 5.
Yeah, well, no,
None.
we're wrapping it up. That's why.
But yeah,
Wrap
we're
it up,
wrapping
Matt.
it up. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching again, and I'll see you guys another Wednesday, or possibly another day that Madlib's streaming. I don't know. Either way.
You're all brilliant. Thank you for watching.
Goodbye!